Well, hello everyone. Um, no introduction, I suppose, but that's perfectly fine. Welcome, one and all, to the Coach's Corner with me, Manny Thangadurai, in place of Hanno Trollope, who will be possibly joining in a little bit later. And we will be covering today's really big game, Arsenal versus Liverpool at the Emirates Stadium. Arsenal will be hoping to improve on last season's record against Liverpool, which was played four, lost three, drew one, conceded eight, and scored none. That has to be set right. And so hopefully, if Arsenal score first, from my perspective as an Arsenal fan, it should work out. Arsenal, of course, top of the table, whereas Liverpool are currently 10th, not enjoying the best start of the season or even the best current form, but in games like this, form always goes out the window. Of course, I said that before the North London derby. So both teams will effectively have an even footing. And speaking of teams, it is time for me to get straight to the team news. So, this is basically how Arsenal will be lining up today. And I know that BBC Sport can be a little bit outdated and a bit useless at times. So, they've more or less gone for almost the same 11 that started the North London derby, except instead of Alexander Zinchenko, Takahiro Tomiyasu will be coming in at left back. I can go on and on about how I think it is an absolute slap in the face to Kieran Tierney, or maybe Tierney is not quite fit. Why Ben White should be given yet another game when, as a right back, he really only is a square peg in a round hole is beyond me. Certainly, in light of Arteta's comments about how White should be considered for a spot in the England squad, he can't just drop Benjamin now, can he? So they could possibly line up as a 4-3-3 with Odegaard on the right of the midfield and Xhaka on the left. Partey, of course, playing the holding midfielder role. Saka, Martinelli, and Jesus, the normal front three. So the key battles here for Arsenal will be Xhaka against Mohamed Salah. If he can nullify his threat and almost, neutralize him, that would certainly help in a great way because we know that Mohamed Salah is due a few goals, but he has been making a few assists. He's still capable of some runs, and so he cannot be discounted in any way. And it could very well be their usual 4-2-3-1 with Partey and Xhaka moving back in front of the defence and Saka sort of coming on the right and Odegaard coming further into the centre, if you will, but and also Martinelli coming back. So that could have been that could be a possibility. It could certainly be a little bit more fluid that way, but we will see what happens. Because it looks as though Liverpool might be moving away from their usual 4-3-3 formation. So this could very well be how Arsenal line up to try to take advantage of any possible gaps in Liverpool's formation. And of course, Tierney is on the bench, as is Eddie Nketiah. Rob Holding had a bit of a star turn against Bodo Glimt in the Europa League with a goal and a decent performance in the back four, so he's in the squad, as is Cedric Suarez, Fabio Vieira, Sambi Lokonga, Reece Nelson. Matthew Turner would be the backup goalkeeper, and Marquinhos. So it is fair to say that probably Arsenal's best 20 are here right now. And now with Liverpool's formation. This has been mentioned so far by the BBC as being a 4-3-2-1, which goes away from the 4-3-3, Darwin Núñez being the striker up front. And so you have Mohamed Salah, Diogo Jota, and Luis Diaz being a three-man midfield behind Núñez, sort of the attacking midfielders, with Henderson and Thiago Alcantara being expected to play a more defensive midfield role in front of the back four. As usual, it would be Alexander-Arnold, Joel Matip, Virgil van Dijk, who hasn't been in the best of form, and Konstantinos Tsimikas, the Greek international. Alisson in goal, as is Ramsdale for Arsenal. It'll be interesting to see how Alisson tries to come up against Gabriel Jesus. I mean, obviously, they will come up against one another. How will Alisson try to cope with his fellow Brazilians' attacks? Not just Jesus, but also Martinelli. So, as I've said, Salah versus Xhaka could very well be key. It'll be interesting to see how well Odegaard comes up against Luis Diaz. Jota could very well prove to be a pivot. And if Núñez gets some good supply, certainly against Rangers in the Champions League, Núñez had plenty of chances. Unfortunate that most of them were straight at the Rangers goalkeeper, Alan McGregor, that day. But certainly he looks to be in better shape. And we will go to live coverage from the Emirates Stadium in a minute. I mean, obviously, I'm watching on the telly; it will be going straight there. And just an advertisement on why people are taking a knee this weekend. It is the No Room for Racism weekend. So all teams in the Premiership have been taking a knee to stand against racism. And it used to be done every game, but now they've decided it would have much more of an impact if it were done on specific games during the course of the season. This weekend is one such occurrence where all games will see everyone taking a knee. On the substitutes bench, Joe Gomez, Fabinho, Ibrahim Konate, James Milner, Roberto Firmino, Harvey Elliott, and Fabio Carvalho, Queeman Kelleher, the Irish backup goalkeeper, and also Nathaniel Phillips. So certainly a fairly strong bench as well. And the teams are in the tunnel right now and about to come out. And they are coming out right now. And it looks as though Liverpool will be playing in their change trip of all white. So that will prove to be very interesting indeed. Okay. So very lively atmosphere at the Emirates, almost a full house practically. The teams are walking out to the acclaim. And once they start kicking off, we will be underway. And of course, another disclaimer to all of you who may be watching. Some of you may very well be behind me, some of you may be ahead of me. If you are watching on your television and you think I'm ahead of you, um, please feel free to press pause when I say kickoff and only click play again once it kicks off on your side, because I do not want to, be out of sync with all of you. Now we see the managers walking together, a handshake and embrace between Mikel Arteta and Jurgen Klopp. Arteta coming over to say hello to Liverpool's backroom staff. And this game could very well be underway very soon. Of course, there is a connection here with Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain, who played for Arsenal, but then moved to Liverpool and won the Champions League with them, but who has since been injured. So, confirmation. Liverpool are starting with a 4-2-3-1 with Henderson and Thiago as the defensive midfielders. It looks as though it could be a 4-1-4-1 for Arsenal, which is what Leicester have been using of late. Partey is basically playing the role that Wilfred Ndidi normally plays for Leicester City. And of course, it could very well end up being a four-man attacking midfield. Xhaka, Martinelli, Odegaard and Saka just behind Jesus. And of course, given the fluidity, they can sort of transition fairly easily. And it'll be interesting as well to see if Jota ends up coming back to the center of the midfield to make it a 4-3-3 again. I do like this level of fluidity, and I think if you can start with a 4-2-3-1, which could be fluid enough if you have the players to make it a 4-3-3, it could be good. Of course, the stakes are quite simple. Arsenal need to win to get back to the top of the table. If they draw to that today, they will remain second. Liverpool need to win in order to climb up the table, although they do have 2 games in hand over Manchester City, as does Manchester United, who will be playing later on today. If they win today, they will end up climbing up, another Freudian slip. If they win today, Liverpool will climb up to 7th in the table ahead of Manchester United, who can themselves leapfrog Brighton and Newcastle into 5th. So this is the stage right now when maybe a few of the bigger teams who had some difficult starts have been, are starting to find a few of their bearings. And here is Mr. Trollope. How
We love you. We do. Liverpool, we love you. We do. Come
Well,
on, Liverpool.
it's ironic because Arsenal are wearing red, Liverpool are wearing white. But which one of us is wearing red and which one of us is wearing white?
uh, uh, okay, yeah. To be fair,
Right.
that's it.
So the ticker has been adjusted for you, my son. How do you like that?
Yeah, that looks absolutely good.
Right.
Funny.
So
That's it.
now that the main man is here, I'm just going to use this Twitter instead. Just a small reminder: please follow this gentleman on social media. His Instagram ID is here. Hanno_coach_corner. His Twitter ID is over here. And then just keep following him for some terrific sporting content. Yeah, it's at the rate of Hanno708303030 on Twitter. So I will show this again during at the end of the stream. Yeah?
Okay. Let's just move that closer. Oops. Wait, hold on.
Right, so it looks as though Liverpool will be kicking off. I think they've already have they taken their knee yet?
I don't know. Right? No, I don't think they are. Let me just.
Yes, they are taking their knee right now.
Okay,
And it's amazing to see. It's amazing to see a gesture like this. All the 5 or 10 seconds, and they've kicked off. Salah passes it back to the midfield, and Liverpool are attacking from right to left. And so we see some action already. Shimikas passing it back to Alisson.
Okay,
And it looks as though Jesus and Saka are already up there in Liverpool's half already, looking to try to exert some pressure on the defence. We will see how well they play. It is back with Alisson now. Short back pass, very nearly intercepted, but thankfully well dealt with. It was meant for Henderson, who was able to deal with it quite well. Now it is Shimikas. A heavy first touch, but eventually well controlled. Another back pass to Alisson. And already Arsenal are making their intentions clear. Saliba now, given away by Saliba, but won back eventually. It is now with Ben White. Saka, down the right. What can he do? Saka against Virgil van Dijk, beats van Dijk easily, straight to Odegaard, through past to Gabriel Martinelli, 1-0 Arsenal! And just the dream start that Arsenal wanted. Arsenal had to score early, and that is what they did. And the defence has been caught napping. Napping. Once again, Virgil van Dijk flattering to deceive, and you can see right now, well, the focus on the television seems to be on Trent Alexander-Arnold, so we're going to see how culpable he is in the whole thing. But it all started from a potential attack, which was doused out. Saka down the right, starting everything. Virgil van Dijk strolling past, never really making any kind of an attempt. And once again, the man marking of Alexander-Arnold has been found wanting. This is one of the big issues of Trent Alexander-Arnold. He can tackle well, he bombs well down the right, but the man marking is awful. Two people on the right.
Possible offside?
Yes, I'm looking at that. A possible offside. A possible offside.
That's offside. That's offside.
Yes, it could very well be an offside. Let's see though. Let's see. They've got their new technology, so I'm going to trust them and see what happens here.
Saka is off. For me, Saka is off.
It might not be Saka because after he passed the ball, he was no longer involved in the play, and the goal has been given, or has it?
Okay, let's change the score. Money.
Yes, it has. Yes, it has. Yes, it has.
You need to change the score because it
yes. I've got it.
Wait. Now it's you. Oh, okay, no, wait. I can change it. It shows on my screen now.
Already taken care of. Don't worry about it. And so yeah, you can change the ticker then. And so Liverpool, what will their response be? They were literally caught napping in the first minute of the game, and Jurgen Klopp was not a happy chappy. And now Arsenal are coming at them. Partey. Tomiyasu.
Okay,
Xhaka. Actually, that was Martinelli. My bad. This is Xhaka to Saka. Back to Xhaka. Back to Tommy. Xhaka again. And it'll be an Arsenal throw. So, of course, the big team news, Hanno, was that Zinchenko dropped out of the team, but instead of Tierney, it was Tomiyasu who's come in. This will be a test for him because, maybe he could be two-footed and can certainly play in that position. Maybe Arteta feels that Tierney might be less of an attacking option. I mean, so far, ironically, down the right, it's reaped dividends so far.
Yeah.
A very cool finish. Yes?
You just need to add a ticker because I can't add a ticker. It's not showing on my screen.
Oh, sorry about that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, but yeah. Also lead 1-0 money. Of course, you wanted also to get that first goal. Oh. But maybe better for we see Liverpool attacking
Yep,
down the
down the
left
left with
wing.
Shimikas.
Ooh, and
And
it's
dealt with by Tomiyasu, who was in that right place at the right time. So now Liverpool can try and come at them, but they concede a free kick. And so Diaz will also be quite key. I wonder
yeah,
how he will cope against the likes of Saka and Odegaard. Arteta is clearly happy, but he wants the team to maintain that press, and he is coming up roses for Mikel right now. I can't lie.
yeah, it's definitely not looking good
Saliba to
for
Gabriel.
Liverpool.
Yeah, I think it's fair to say that Liverpool's first touches so far have been a little bit heavy, and so when you have a heavy first touch, you can't really maintain that kind of control. A case of being
Yeah.
caught cold, if you will. But
Oh,
Liverpool have won it back.
go,
Darwin Nunes.
go,
It's Nunes.
oh,
Let's see what he can do. He
corner,
can win a
gone.
corner straight off Gabriel Magalhaes.
Come on,
Or was that
Liverpool.
Gabriel
Oh,
Jesus who conceded at the corner?
Liverpool, Liverpool, we love you, Liverpool. We love you. Come on, bitch. Come on.
Well, I'm sure you know that Mo Salah did play at Chelsea, so maybe there's that loyalty there, huh?
Yeah, definitely. And if you can hear the bird in the background, apologize.
Don't
But
worry, don't worry. The bird is fine. The bird is fine.
Liverpool are not
So what
fine.
can Virgil van Dijk do?
Mhm. Yeah.
Swung in.
Oh no. Oh no. Counter. Counter. Oh no.
Yeah, Martinelli running
Foul.
hard
Foul. Foul.
against
Foul.
Luis Diaz. And Diaz loses that battle. Could we see a card over here? Yes, we can. First booking of the day, 6 minutes gone. And Martinelli,
What?
with that
Okay.
amazing turn of pace, ended up being chopped down. So, it's interesting, Hannah. One of the predictions I made on a show not too long ago, huge shout out to Daddy and the Don Sports, who have this segment called Guarantee of the Week. I am predicting that there will be a sending off in this match.
But
You,
Luis Diaz early yellow card for him.
yep. And
Him.
so, yeah, now it's with Ben White, who has done well at right back, but certainly won't be considered in the England squad as a right back or even as a central defender. Allison now. And straight to Shimikas, who controls it better this time. Long pass down the left. Is Nunes offside? Yes, he is. Well, this is the thing about Nunes. I mean, obviously, Klopp has brought him in to try to make some runs going forward and be that person who could perform an Erling Haaland sort of role. The problem is he might be playing on his own as opposed to being part of a front three. So he'll need some good service. Goal kick for Arsenal. And that will be Aaron Ramsdale's first touch of the ball.
Yeah. Okay. Aaron Ramsdale has the ball. He sends it up long. And it is, I think, and Liverpool it back, but no.
A sort of
I think,
acrobatic clearance there by Trent.
and now also, can they do it again on the attack?
Gabriel Jesus.
Martinelli.
Martinelli's running down.
Ooh,
And this time
this time,
Arnold is sticking to him like glue and wins a throw. This is better from Trent. He needs to make sure his man marking is spot on. There is no way that he can afford to allow people to get past him.
yeah, definitely. Uh, now
It is with Virgil now.
Alisson has the ball.
Yep.
He short pass to Joe Matip.
Yep.
He tries to do a bit of run, but gives it to Virgil van Dijk with a great ball, but
Yep.
just to no one. And Matip went there, and now in midfield, Liverpool. Thiago, I think that is. Oh, that's
No,
good
that
ball.
pass is never going to find anyone, and Ramsdale can clear that fairly easily. He was looking for Salah, but Salah was on the wrong side. However, under pressure from Salah, Ramsdale concedes a throw. And a little moment of discomfort there for the England international, who's catching his hamstring. And this hopefully should not be serious, because if it's a muscle strain in the hamstring area, or the quadricep area rather, it could be rather dangerous. You need the
Whoa.
quadriceps and the hamstrings. So it will
Get
remain to
him
be seen
off.
what happens.
Get him
Let's
off.
see what happens here.
Oh, can you
Ah,
please go there?
yep. That is the thing. That is the issue.
And
That
this
clearance
can be
landed rather awkwardly.
problems.
Yes, this could be a
And
problem.
if he goes off injured and it's a long injury for let's say the rest of this month, it is some few big games. This might be the downfall of Arsenal as we know it.
I wouldn't be too sure about that. We do have Matt Turner, and I know that people are going to scoff at me for saying this. It was nice of him for him to make his home debut in the Europa League against Bodo Glimt. Well, for the moment, Ramsdale is running back, but we will see if he is fit to continue. Having said that, with the muscle complaint being on his right leg, his kicking leg, it will remain to be seen. It would be nice for Turner if he could make his home debut in both the Europa League and the Premier League, but we'll have to wait and see. He's going to have to wait for now. So it is back with Virgil van Dijk,
Yeah.
who passes it
And
back to Alisson.
be up Chelsea fan. I don't know where I got my confidence from. Because this Liverpool team is shite.
Yeah, absolutely. And got a few people in here. Ryan, good to see you. James, Bournemouth fan. Happy with the win over Leicester, are you, mate? I'm sure you are. And Mr. Malloy, Craig, your guess is as good as mine. I think it's maybe because Arteta considers Tierney to be the type of
Oh,
defensive left back who can mop up a bit. Terrific control that by Jota, but no dice. Well cleared.
and
And does
corner.
Martinelli keep it in? No, he concedes a corner.
And second
So,
corner yet for Liverpool.
yep,
Manny,
this
how impressed have you been with Arsenal, of course, taking one lead early on
it's the
inside the
start. It's
first
the
minute?
start we wanted. It's the start we wanted, and it makes me very happy because at least it puts right the statistic from last season where we couldn't even score a goal or buy a goal. Now we scored one. Martinelli, terrific work, caught them cold, but with this corner, outswing from
Boom.
Alexander-Arnold and harmlessly headed over the bar by Virgil van Dijk. So,
Calmlessly, I love how you say
so
calmlessly headed over.
yeah. Well, I mean, the header was harmless. It wasn't going to trouble Ramsdale. So
Yeah.
Ramsdale does look fit to continue, and he is continuing. But we will see how he goes throughout the course of the match. And the biggest problem with taking a goal kick so quickly is, how you land. And I see that one of the biggest problems is that he brings his kicking leg back. So if he lands on that awkwardly, then I'm sorry, but you are running the risk of injuring that kicking leg. So you are going to have to do a little bit better. Sort of, you don't want to bring that leg back. Just try and maybe bring it maybe to the side. Sort of try not to land so awkwardly on that foot.
Yeah,
Okay.
definitely. Yeah, let me just change
Yeah.
the background because
Yeah, and Ryan, of course, big up to you. 2-0 win for your boys today over Hull City. Um, first home win for
couldn't
your
put
boss.
the
A possible
background
goal
either.
here. Terrific
Ooh.
save from Alison Becker. And
Go on, Alex.
again, offside. So it just goes to show that if you're watching the television and commenting here, you can't take your eyes off the screen for a minute. Once again, great work from Partey with that through ball.
Uh,
Ben White with a terrific pass, but sadly one of the players was offside. It wasn't Xhaka who had come in, it was someone else. Or maybe it was
oh,
Xhaka. We don't know.
go on, Diaz, go on,
Diaz now down the left.
go on,
So end-to-end stuff now at this point in time.
go on.
Shimikas. Headed out. Straight to Thiago Alcantara.
Get it,
To Henderson.
come on,
To Salah.
come on,
Yalla
get
Salah.
it.
And
No,
well done by
cancel.
Tomiyasu. So maybe this could very well have been a decent move, Craig, to put Tomiyasu in, because so far he's dealt with Salah, but we will see how it progresses later on. I mean, obviously we both love Kieran Tierney, and we believe that he can, that he would have relished the challenge of taking on Salah, but maybe Arteta wants to protect him. Is still injury prone, came off quite early, considerably early against Bodo Glimt. So yeah, we'll have to see what happens as the game progresses. Virgil van Dijk. Now with Thiago. Diaz nearly lost it, but has got it back. So you can see right now the Arsenal players are snapping at their heels. It's as if Liverpool don't seem to have an answer to this, and it's terrific. But hopefully, tactically, Arteta will keep a little bit of calm. Does Jota win another corner? No, he wins a throw-in instead. Good work by Magalhaes to prevent a corner, which would have been potentially dangerous. Terrific control that from Diogo Jota. Complaining at
Surely
Arsenal.
that's a pen.
It could possibly be a penalty, maybe a penalty.
That
VAR
should be
might
a
check
pen.
that. VAR might
That should
check
be a
that, maybe.
pen. That should be a pen. That should be a pen. Pen.
It could be. It could be. It
That
could
should
be. And obviously,
is that
Jota and Salah up in arms.
no pen?
Um,
Nah. This ref. This is bull crap.
Yeah. Wait. He's blown the whistle. No, he hasn't blown the whistle yet. So VAR normally would be checking that. I suppose maybe they feel that the hand of that Gabriel's hand was in a more natural position. Saka now down the right. And Shimikas upends him, but no free kick given. Well, you can't say he upended him. I think it's fair to say that, he just bumped into him. But Saka is down injured. It doesn't look... Hopefully it's not too bad. Terrific work down the right. Now, of course, given that he is incorrigibly left-footed, he can't possibly... It's very difficult for him to be able to shoot from that position. I mean, he has to train his right foot a lot more, which isn't really that good.
My eye.
Whacked him in the eye.
Nobody cares.
Whacked him in the eye. So Shimikas got away with that.
No.
And clearly, those were decent claims for a penalty, but maybe VAR thought that Gabriel's arm was sort of... I mean, he probably thought that Jota sort of hit it against Gabriel's arm, but I mean, a decent shout there for a penalty. I'm surprised that VAR didn't look at that.
Yeah, corruption, cheat, Arsenal, cheat.
Hey! Liverpool have had their fair share of VAR luck, and now what do Liverpool do? Not very convincing footwork, and it's now with Partey.
What is that?
So,
what's he calling?
has Liverpool played the advantage? Has he played the advantage for Liverpool, or has he not? No, he hasn't.
No.
Brought it back.
And ball. Oh no, where we got that from? I think they need to take off maybe Salah potentially. Take him off.
I don't see why he'd want to take off Salah. I mean,
He hasn't.
Salah probably hasn't gotten into the game yet, but you can't make that rash of a decision with 20 minutes having not been gone yet. So, Liverpool throw. Shimikas.
Oh my goodness.
Straight to Ben White, but headed it out again. Now to Partey. To Magalhaes. Tomiyasu now.
Liverpool.
I get it. You're rooting for Liverpool, but you're wearing the wrong jersey today.
Nah, I'm wearing red for Liverpool.
But they're playing in white. Odegaard now. Brilliant pass through, but that's not going to find Granit Xhaka.
Well done,
and
well done.
Alisson can clear that. Tomiyasu. Martinelli.
I need a Liverpool goal.
And Martinelli now again. So some fairly clumsy footwork there from Liverpool, but they get away with it. Luis Diaz now. He can now run down the left. He's got three people trying to snap at his heels. A crossfield pass to Mo Salah, who gets it.
He really doesn't want to pass to Darwin Núñez.
Nah, Núñez wasn't in the picture.
He was.
Van Dijk. Henderson. Salah. Alexander-Arnold now with a cross inside, and that will be claimed by Aaron Ramsdale. So you were saying that Salah hasn't quite gotten into the game yet. It should be only a matter of time once he might get behind them. So far, Tomiyasu has looked good. No real complaints. And
Yeah.
that is some frustrated Liverpool manager standing over there. He knows that his team are in all sorts of trouble.
Okay, go on. Throwing. Throwing. Ramsdale is not looking good, right? Maybe, maybe if he keeps Ramsdale a bit on for too long, maybe he could severe that injury.
We don't know.
Since
I mean, so far he's shrugged it off, but we'll have to see how much discomfort he's in. Van Dijk to Thiago, back to Van Dijk.
come on,
It is now with Matip,
I think maybe
Alexander
also
Arnold.
one of Liverpool's problems is
Thiago.
only having two midfielders, and then you have Jota who can play as a midfielder, but he's more of an attacker. That could definitely be one of the problems if you look. They're getting outnumbered in midfield with Odegaard. Well, he
Yeah,
hasn't really seen the ball much, but he's taking he's taking up that pocket of space, and you never know what might happen if
yeah.
and when he gets the ball.
I think it's fair to say that obviously Klopp wanted to change the formation after that 3-3 draw, so he thought that maybe there was a fear that Liverpool's 4-3-3 had been found out. So it was a change of personnel. He dropped Fabinho and a few others, and he brought on these more attack-minded players to create a 4-2-3-1, given away by Matip. It's with Saka,
No, Tuno, it changed
Martinelli,
between surely it's Tuno, and nobody's there. The
and
far
that's
goes
over.
for Arsenal.
Yeah, nobody's there, but Ben White can retrieve it, preventing a throw-in.
Right?
And Diaz now,
What?
and have Liverpool. The play's been stopped because Trent is on the floor.
Covering his
Now, again,
eyes.
the biggest issue I have, as I said with Trent, Hanno, is that his man marking is abysmal. It could very well be a possibility that he gets dropped and Joe Gomez comes on in his place. Gomez does look good as a right back. Obviously, he was played as a centre back against Napoli in the Champions League and completely ripped to shreds. So uh, it's sad, really. Trent's not going to make the World Cup squad, and neither will Ben White. I'm sorry, Arteta, but no, not going to happen. Chip cross over there from Martinelli with that turn of pace he had to get that far, but nobody was on the end of it. It needed someone at the end of it. But Arsenal can be very happy with the start they've made, and
Uh,
now Alexander Arnold
Thank
seems to
you.
have a few problems.
Ankle. Hey, it's time to call the old veteran James Simona to play at right back.
Joe Gomez, right?
Mona, why not Mona?
Not Milner. He won't be able to handle the pace.
Old veteran James Simona. So,
But
so
also,
what?
Milner normally comes on as a left back in place of Shimikas or Robertson. I wouldn't put him on the right. Gomez would
What's his
probably be
Liverpool's
the
midfield?
hmm?
Henderson, Thiago.
Yeah, Henderson and Thiago are the two midfielders who are playing in front of the back four. Of course, to answer your question about Jota, it could very well be that he comes a little bit back to play a sort of a more holding role, if you will, a more defensive role with alongside Thiago and Henderson and make it a 4-3-3 again. But we'll have to see. I
I
think they're
think
dependent on Nunes being able to get in behind the defense. The only problem is that from what I've seen of him, he doesn't time his runs very well, and that's going to be a problem.
Yeah. And I think him and Jota clash a bit, because they both like to make the same runs into the box. And he's in the scan for the train, but they are going to let him continue on. Don't know how wise that is, but
Hmm.
let's
Interesting stat
go.
here. Interesting stat here from the BBC. Liverpool have now conceded the first goal in 10 of their last 12 Premier League matches, but have only lost 2 of those games. So, let's not be too overconfident Arsenal will win. If Arsenal lose their
Can,
concentration, get a bit too cocky, who knows what can happen?
can
Matip
you
now.
send that set to me, please? Copy and paste it.
Huh?
Can you copy and paste that set for me? Essentially.
I got that from the BBC Sports Instagram page, ironically.
Oh,
Pass from Henderson, not going to find anyone. And it's with Tomiyasu now, who can pass it forward to
oh no.
Jesus.
Oh
Is
no.
with Martinelli now. Love the combination of those two.
So what?
Partey,
It's so in
Jesus.
Liverpool's past what? 11 games or 12.
Now, of
Oh,
course, I
that's
need to
it.
remember that given that he's Brazilian, he likes to pronounce his name Jesus. So, yeah, let me get that right now. But it's not as bad an error as calling Phil Foden Ben Foden, so that won't happen again.
Yeah.
Thiago now. All the way
Come on,
to Mohamed
Liverpool.
Salah, down the right. Up
Oh,
against Xhaka, pass through to
yeah.
Nunez.
Oh,
Shot from Nunez,
great
save from Ramsdale. Straight at
shot.
Ramsdale, of
That's a
course,
good
but
shot,
Ramsdale had to make the
Nunes.
save. Yeah, but
More of the same. More of the same.
yeah, I think
Keep testing him,
the only
and
problem with
maybe
Nunez is
someone
that,
is at it.
like I've said, the problem with Nunez is that most of his shots were a little bit too close to the keeper when Liverpool played against Rangers. So um, it was that free kick from Arnold and that penalty from Mo Salah that were the only goals that were scored. Some good work there. I mean, Xhaka sort of and Tomiyasu there losing his man, but fortunately Ramsdale was there. Covered it well. Never going to score from that position. And some
Yeah.
decently strong hands to um, prevent it going past him. So Nunez is
So,
starting to get into the game.
yeah. So it's in Liverpool's what? Liverpool's last.
12 games. They've conceded the first goal in 10 of them.
Okay.
You should be able to find it if you go onto the BBC Sport page. Um,
But thank you for that one. That's a good stat.
yeah.
Right, so yeah.
So that's another reminder, Arsenal fans. Don't get too cocky. Liverpool could easily come back into this. Not with passing like that, they won't, though. Given away by Jota. Trent
Go on,
wins it
Trent.
back. Matip now, who's being chased by Odegaard. Van Dijk
Oh no.
to Trent.
This I think they need to maybe bring on another midfielder because it doesn't look like Jota is track is like being that third midfielder
Yep.
because
Crossed
they
by
had three
Tomiyasu, headed away. And Jesus now. He has
because
the
they said
ball. Fancy footwork. Straight to Alisson. Never going to score that way from that position.
you know
But
I see
Jesus.
there's a big gap there in Arsenal's midfield. Not a big one, but there's a gap where someone if you put maybe like if you take off maybe Jota or Darwin Nunes and put on Fabinho, say Thiago, go explore, but then there is a gap just behind the attackers.
Yeah, I think
There's,
it's fair. You have a point there. I think it's quite fair to say that Klopp choked today. I mean, there might have been some sort of an idea that maybe the 4-3-3 formation had been found out, but sometimes you got to stick with your instincts, maybe, and especially if Arsenal will lose in a position to play their 4-2-3-1, the 4-3-3 would be the type of position from where you can exploit the gaps. But he's gone with this new formation, supposedly more attacking, and
more attacking, but that leaves you opening defense.
oh
And that's
yes,
what we're really seeing now.
exactly. So.
That's great.
And some good
Jota,
work there from
Jota,
Jota. You were talking about
yes,
Jota to
yes.
some good and apparently Arsenal win a free kick, but it's for a handball against Diaz. Rather
And
surprising.
now it's Saka can keep the ball in. No, he
No, he
can't.
can't. Jinx,
Jinx
you owe
is.
me a Coke. We said it at the same time.
I just forgot what it is in English.
Yeah, and some very risky footwork there from Allison because he's got some Arsenal strikers snapping at his heels, most notably his fellow Brazilian Jesus. Jesus again.
God.
Henderson to Nunes.
Yes, yes.
Magalhaes.
Oh,
Oh, and very nearly an own goal there from Saliba, but Ramsdale was equal to it.
oh,
So a rare mistake there from the Frenchman, who has been Arsenal's shining light this season. But some
oh,
good work
that's
there to get it to
the
Nunes.
Arsenal. They're
And
looking,
I
they're
think it's fair to say
conceding more
that,
goals. And so
yeah, heavy first touch there from Saliba, but thankfully
chances, not
Ramsdale
goals,
was able to get
chances.
to that. And of course, claims for a handball there, but the referee makes nothing of it. So play on. Thiago. So that's two handballs that Arsenal have gotten away with. Half an hour gone.
I
Simicas.
see it like that. Then
Thiago.
I
Across the
timer
field
is now
to Matip.
closer,
Henderson.
closer
Matip.
for you guys.
Henderson.
Right, no, right.
Trent.
There.
Matip.
Can I?
To Van Dijk.
There you guys now can see. So
Back with Trent on the right, who's sort of come into the Arsenal half.
oh, come on.
Matip now.
Liverpool. Liverpool. Come on,
Van
you.
Dijk to Simicas again.
Now, I see when Arsenal defending in their own half, it looks like Odegaard, or Odegaard and Jesus form the two up front, and both the wingers.
Good work by Salah now. And he was never going to score from there. That'll be a goal kick. But now we see Salah coming into the game. So what were you saying about Jesus and Odegaard?
And when also defending in the in the half, it definitely looks like Odegaard and Jesus are the two up front, and then both your wingers are almost helping out the two fullbacks.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, in a way, almost setting up in a 4-4-2, which makes it even harder for the likes of Trent, Salah, and Simicas and Diaz to even go through, uh, to go behind the defense
Yeah.
through the wings.
Yeah, I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying. It's
And
sort of
then
like
the
that.
midfield is all packed up, so they can't stretch Arsenal's midfield in also.
Yeah. Well, having said that, Liverpool are on the attack, and before that, there was some pretty good defensive work by Liverpool in the face of Arsenal's relentless pressure. So once again, some clumsy footwork letting Arsenal in, but Liverpool are recovering well, coming back in. And yeah, it's sort of a case of trying to tighten up that midfield
Oh,
and remove the gap.
oh,
So Ramsdale
Ramsdale.
was in a bit of trouble there, but he wriggled his way out of it. So
I,
got to be careful
when
there, son.
I'm a striker in that position, I will
Yeah,
just
back pass
throw him,
there.
throw him. I will just kick him. Maybe I eat the ball. Who don't know. And
Yeah.
you might pick up a yellow card, but you're a striker, so just don't do anything in yours. So yeah, but it's looking very, very good for Arsenal. But one thing is for sure, Liverpool are growing into this game. And
They are growing into the game, and it will
oh,
be interesting to see how well they do.
oh,
Diaz now, who wins the header,
and it's
straight through,
one.
and it is
Like
Darwin
James
Nunes.
Money, huge. Tower noodles, tower noodles.
Well, you were
Yeah.
saying it, you were saying it, and this time the commentator thing works for you. They were growing into the game, and this is the warning that Arsenal fans have to heed. You cannot rest on anything. So where does it start from? Basically Trent with that
What's the
long pass.
offside? Wait.
Now we're going to take a look and see that. There may be a review for possible offside. Terrific work by Diaz to control it with his hand. What goes all the way past Magalhaes, who can't get it, and Darwin Nunes is there to tap it in.
If it's offside, I'm going to be. Is he offside?
No, there
Of
could
the
be a
first
review. No,
angle I
listen.
saw, it looked offside.
No, but here's the thing. Sometimes there are factors which determine an offside, namely whether certain players with the ball are interfering with the play. If you're not interfering with the play but in an offside position, that normally won't be given. And so, good vision there from Nunes. Dinked it past Ramsdale, and Liverpool are level. So, we have a
Yeah.
test on our hands. How will Arsenal respond?
And of course, is the exact day Jurgen Klopp signed for Liverpool. Well, on this exact day, he signed his 7-year contract or contract for Liverpool. And now maybe Liverpool can get a second one.
There
Luis
could very
Diaz!
well be Luis
Diaz!
Diaz down the
Diaz!
left, down the left.
Oh!
Saliba,
Oh!
once again, terrific work from him, and it's a
Cannot.
goal kick. So
Oh,
Saliba redeeming himself there. Of
oh.
course, it was a case of a heavy first touch, which very nearly resulted in an own goal.
Rock and roll football,
But
yeah.
so Diaz is now looking sharp, finding space, looking very dangerous indeed. But once again, Saliba ushering him off and forcing the error from Diaz to give away a goal kick. So you see right now how well positioned he is, how he read the game well. And this is one of the reasons why Saliba coming back into Arsenal as a defender is only a boon for the team. But there will be a lot of people who will say that he should have been there at least last season or the season before. Intercepted by Thiago. So now Arsenal are rocked. They are on their heels.
Can
Trent,
Arsenal
a high pass
sustain
from
this
Henderson,
pressure
an
from
almost
Liverpool?
rugby style pass which goes nowhere. So you know how sometimes in rugby when the fly half sometimes kicks it all the way high and
Yeah,
long
cross
in the
kick,
hope that someone will
cross,
see. Yeah, what is
cross
that?
kick,
Yeah, the cross
cross
kick.
kick.
So we saw a cross kick over there from Henderson. The only difference, of course, was that nobody could get it with their hands except unless they were the keeper.
Oh, wait.
Mohamed
Yes.
Salah. Henderson.
Virgil van Dijk driving with the ball, commanding,
Yeah, Van
switching
Dijk hasn't looked
to
very good in
pass.
defence, but I'm seeing a
Van
few
Dijk,
rather
Virgil.
nasty comments on the group chat on Instagram. I will not broadcast them here. They are not worth it. But some more cagey stuff going on
What
now. And
what's going on in the group chat? The Arsenal fans trying again.
not really. I think some non-Arsenal fans are being very risque with their comments, but it is what it is.
Uh,
And
and
so referee
Diaz is
stopped play, and
saying,
Diaz is down. Diaz is
let's,
down.
let's see.
So yeah, Partey
Uh,
getting into that. He loves a scrap, and Partey trying to apologise. Diaz having none of it.
Flair Arsenal, of course, was on saying this is the most boring game. So eh, this season so far, for sure.
Boring? Whoever said that?
Flair Arsenal, check in the group chat. Total was shite. So true red devil.
Yeah, into the ground, past Ramsdale. He wasn't going to save that. So yeah, apparently they refer to Darwin Núñez as Darwin Noodles. They clearly haven't seen Roberto Firmino's hair.
Nah,
I
Darwin
just,
noodles. You,
I mean,
is
those
that
aren't.
because
I
of
mean,
the face? Because
it's more like spaghetti or linguine. Don't say noodles.
his his hair is noodles. Look how it's bouncing up and down when it runs.
So is Firmino's. Calm down, son.
No, that
Okay, so play stopped and Diaz is gingerly walking. I think for the time being he's off the field, so Liverpool are down to 10 men for now. It'll be interesting to see if Klopp decides to take him off, but sportsman-like display there, being given back to Virgil van Dijk. Alisson now, back to Van Dijk. Long left-footed pass, out of play.
oh, oh, oh,
Diaz
oh.
seems to be better. He's coming back onto the field right now, so play can continue. So this is traditionally a game which will provide a lot of controversy, and certainly the penalty shout against Gabriel was certainly legitimate. It's a bit of a surprise that it wasn't given. So I think
Okay.
it is fair to say that Arsenal have benefited so far from that piece of luck, but Liverpool have been good value for their equaliser. That
Mm.
start, of course, was electric, and Arsenal deserved their lead, though. Just goes to show that in a game like this, you definitely cannot afford to be cold. You've got to be on your feet in the game from the whistle, and Liverpool weren't. But credit to them, they've come back and come back well. Thiago,
Come
all the
on,
way
Loki.
to Matip.
Give me. I need.
Salah,
Yeah. I got 3 points.
Salah. Great work by Salah. Forward
Mhm.
pass by as Arnold, but Nunes again offside. And this is the big problem with Nunes. He just wanders a little bit too far. So
I don't
five
think
minutes.
it
Yeah,
was always offside. No, come on. Mm.
and
You're
that's the thing.
absolutely.
Nunes wasn't interfering with play at that time, but the ball was intended for him, so that is when you can call it an offside. So 5 minutes left, and there will be stoppages given the fact that there stoppage time, given that there were stoppages in the game. Maybe about 2 or 3 minutes. How much do you think, Hanno?
Um, I think we should just wait a few more minutes because I think there will be a few more stoppages. I reckon in this game,
Well, there is one stoppage right now.
and I think if Diaz goes off, I think that's a big worry for Liverpool because you look, he's been the danger man, and so it's been. But you see Carvalho's, oh sorry, Roberto Firmino talking about him with
Yep,
a
that's the guy with the
tail.
noodle-like hair. Looks like a nice set of uh,
What the
top ramen noodles. You can see,
uh,
and he's like,
Roberto
you open the packet, you get those noodles. That's exactly what Firmino's hair looks like. And so sadly, Diaz
Roberto
cannot continue. So Firmino
Noodle
comes on.
Firmino. Roberto Noodles Firmino.
Yes, yes,
And he's going into the changing room. This he might be serious. Maybe they're going to
yeah.
go for an X-ray to maybe see if he has broken his ankle or something like that. Hopefully he hasn't, and he can be back to full fitness very soon.
Yeah, I mean, he certainly was looking very lively, but now this is Firmino's chance to keep the momentum. And Van Dijk now, who hasn't looked too bad today. I mean,
Yeah.
aside from the goal where he sort of allowed Ben White Saka rather, to just pass right through him almost, he's looked good. But
And you
Liverpool
shoot.
once again need to be very attentive with the ball at their feet. Henderson, Thiago,
Oh,
foul,
no. Give him a
and
yellow card. Book him. Book him. Give him a
calm
yellow.
down, son. You don't book a
Give
person for
him a
that.
yellow.
You don't book anyone for that. And clearly, Klopp is a lot happier with the equaliser. Jota now to Shimikas. Over through to Jota on the left. Well intercepted by Saliba, but it is with Nunes now. Salah over everyone's head, and that needed a Liverpool attacker at the end of that. Shimikas was there but couldn't get through. And Odegaard now. And a free kick. Magalhaes. Jesus.
Okay.
Magalhaes. Again.
Mm.
Saliba. Ben
Oh,
White.
Arsenal, we hate you. We do. Oh, Arsenal, we hate you. We do.
Cheeky.
Oh.
Still with the Arsenal defence, and they're taking this as much time as they can. 1.5 minutes left. Should be about 3 minutes of stoppage time. Back to Ramsdale, of course. Short pass to Thomas Partey. Another kick up the field. And people have been raving about Ramsdale's distribution, and with good reason. It found its man. So Jesus to Xhaka, to Martinelli, back to Xhaka. Odegaard now. Does he let fly? No, he passes it through, and yet Tsimikas is there to tidy up. So this is better defending now from Liverpool. Obviously, they're a lot more attentive. And I think once Trent is made very clear that his man marking needs to improve and he improves on that, he will become a better defender. But he is out of the England reckoning for now, for good reason. Partey to Bukayo Saka. Double teamed by a couple of Liverpool defenders, and he concedes a free kick. So a little bit of frustration now for Arsenal after the start they had. And since that goal, they haven't really. I mean, there was a shot from Granit Xhaka which forced Alisson into a good save. But since then, it's pretty much been. You could say even Stevens, as it is said back in the UK. And Ramsdale, of course, had his chance,
And yeah,
his
prediction
save from
quickly for the
Darwin
time.
Núñez.
And it is
5
how many?
minutes.
5 minutes. What do you
5
think?
minutes. Well, that is going to be enough time for another goal to be scored, and certainly in the case of Chelsea, as with you've got to play to the whistle. I think they were appealing for an offside against Núñez, but he wisely stepped back and allowed play to continue. And then
Go
Liverpool
on.
now have the sting in the tail. Didn't quite get the ball there, and it's still with Jota. Still with Jota. Tsimikas now. Double teamed by a couple of Arsenal defenders. Jota now, and a corner has been conceded. Partey over there.
But did you think 5 minutes was enough? Maybe less or more should be added on?
It's enough. It's enough. I think there were a few injury-induced stoppages, so I think 5 minutes just about covers it.
Okay.
So Virgil
would
van
have
Dijk.
said 4.
What?
Would have been my prediction would have been 4. But,
3 or 4 was my prediction too. I mean, actually predicted three, but 5 is okay. I mean, it'll cover for a lot of things. Thiago now tries to get through Saka, but wins the throw. Virgil van Dijk. Thiago, injured at the beginning of the season, but has come back into it and into the team, and now he could be pivotal today. Crossfield pass, intercepted by Tomiyasu, and that would be a source of relief indeed. Dangerous, not quite dangerous play. Saliba has the ball. Straight to Partey, who can run with it and move with it. Not quite the successor to Patrick Vieira in the heart of Arsenal's midfield yet, but getting there. Injuries so far have affected him in a way. Tomiyasu, Partey. Pass from Partey all the way to Saka on the right. What can he do? Well, he can try and jink his way through, but again, the defenders have double-teamed him, and Saka wins a corner, which he will take. So the in-swinging left-footed corner.
Arsenal don't score. Oh, Arsenal don't score. Oh, Arsenal don't score.
If you don't like Arsenal, you cannot pray for them not to score. You've got to say Liverpool should defend it.
Oh, Liverpool defend better. Oh, Liverpool, you should defend better.
Okay. In-swing left footer from Bukayo Saka. Headed away confidently by, I think it was Darwin Núñez who headed that away.
Oh, so you can't score.
And Ramsdale's come all the way up to the centre circle.
Oh, I say that.
It's with Saka now, up against Tsimikas. Odegaard, can he score? No, he can't. Can he shoot? No, he can't. Through to Xhaka. Claims for a penalty. It's with Odegaard now. Does he pass through? Nope. Some desperate defending there from Liverpool, and eventually they clear it out through Jota and Firmino. Jota now.
Go on, Jota.
Good footwork there from the former Wolves midfielder. Straight to Tsimikas. Jota now controls it beautifully and hacked down by Odegaard. Will that be a booking? Yes, it will be. So the captain living dangerously there. Excellent footwork there from the former Wolves midfielder. And once again, it's another stamping on the foot stamping. You cannot do that. So Odegaard will need to be careful. Arsenal now already
Is
have
that yellow?
two players booked.
Okay, good.
Right, so this free kick will be taken by Shimikash. About 40 seconds left of stoppage time. Maybe one more will be played. Into the Arsenal penalty area, but headed away. And through Jesus, Arsenal can break. This is Martinelli now against Henderson. Henderson backing off,
Oh,
backing off.
what? And it's
And
2
it's a
0.
goal.
Wait, wait.
Are they
No
reviewing it
offside.
though?
No offside, and
No
it's been
offside.
given, and
What a
it's
time to score and what a time to regain the lead. Once again, Liverpool
and
switched off. Some poor defending from Henderson and Alexander Arnold, who were backing off, backing off, backing off, giving Martinelli all the space he needed. And the cross came through, and it just had to be the star boy.
so
Yeah, we
let's
see
see how
again.
this happens. So
Yeah, Jesus
when the
over there,
ball is
passing it through.
played,
Straight to
it's
Martinelli. Now you
Martinelli,
see over there, Henderson over there, Henderson against Martinelli, dropping back, dropping back. Alexander Arnold's nowhere in the picture. No one's marking Bukayo Saka, and there he is. Pretty poor man marking again from Liverpool, and I think Klopp will have words for his boys.
and my prediction is in the mud, people. My prediction is in the mud.
What was your prediction, son?
2-1 Liverpool.
Well, to be fair, I predicted a 2-2 draw, so if Liverpool do equalise, my prediction will come true, but I am happy so far with Arsenal's performance. They've taken advantage of some sloppy Liverpool defending at times, and another reminder that although Liverpool have been good
Look
value
at
for their
Klopp's face. Look
equaliser,
at Klopp's face. It's just like
the,
what?
and it looks to me as though Alexander Arnold could be the focus here. He might be taken off in at half time, and Joe Gomez brought on.
And that's half
And it is
time.
half time now. So,
Manny, if you want to grab yourself a drink, you can. Can? Oh, you
Cabana.
search it later. I'll tell it. Okay, let's put that sign at pause it. Right. I'm just going to look at the messages what's popping up. What's popping up in the group chat and on Instagram on the it's yeah. Nani, of course, you are leading 2-1. You scored your early goal. Oh, how are you feeling? The top of the league. You're beating Liverpool. You're 4 points clear of Manchester City with a better goal difference, I believe. I think I don't know, but with a
I'm
okay.
happy. I am happy. Look, I know I predicted a
Come
2-all
on,
draw.
smile.
I
Give
know
it
I
that.
predicted. No, no, listen. There are still 45 minutes. You will see my smile become bigger at the end of that next 45 minutes. But so far, Arsenal are looking good. They've capitalised on Liverpool's mistakes. I think it is fair to say, though, that Arsenal have been lucky on one or two occasions. That handball shout against Magalhaes was definitely a good one, and a penalty should have been given. I've seen penalties given for that. But Arsenal have been good value, and Liverpool have just been sloppy in defence. We know that Liverpool have the ability through the midfield and the attack to make sure that they can score goals and put pressure on their opposition. But defensively, they've just been pretty poor, and Alexander Arnold has been a reflection of that. I'm sorry. Once again, poor man marking and some pretty poor defending. You cannot just simply drop back and allow someone to come at you and put a cross in. No, that's defending 101. You don't do that. You just don't do that. And then nobody was over marking Saka on the right. Everyone was looking at the ball. You know, you've got to get your positioning and your bearing right. And Liverpool failed to do that. But Liverpool have been good value going forward. Obviously, you know, Henderson and Thiago have been pulling those strings in midfield and enabling the likes of Jota and Diaz before he was subbed off to do their bit. Diaz looked very lively, and the work he did for Nunez's goal was brilliant. Nunez again has been good value for his goal, but again, his wandering offside too often, I think it could cost Liverpool more goals. But exciting first half. We ended it the way we started it, and that makes me really, really, really happy. So,
Yeah.
Hasper TV's in the chat. Liverpool's back four is all over the place. A very open game. Completely agree with you there, mate. And I think, as I was saying, there will be some changes needed in Liverpool's defence. I think it is high time that Klopp becomes a bit more ruthless and takes Trent out of the firing line. I mean, Joe Gomez can't be worse. I know Hanno said that maybe Milner could be brought on, but Milner's normally brought on as a replacement left back for either Shimikas or Andrew Robertson. So, what does Klopp do from here? How does he shore up that defence? Van Dijk has, first goal aside, looked all right today. And once again, our group chat is going crazy, but none of these messages will be broadcast. I'm sorry. I just want to use this halftime as well to smash out a few people. Huge shout out to Derek Healy, better known as Del Boy Gunner, of course. He is at the Emirates right now, watching the game live with his sons. So, Del, big up to you, mate. I hope you're enjoying the game so far. That was a terrific first half. I don't know if you'll be doing a call-on show later on, but if you do, I will hop on later. Huge shout out as well to Danny AFC TV, who's doing a watch-along as well. He and I will be joining together for Thursday nights, covering the Europa League games and also maybe a Premiership game. And yeah, if you want to come on for the second half, Hasper, by all means, go ahead. We will send you the link. So, I mean, obviously, I'm not too sure how happy you would be with Arsenal being ahead, but at least you might be happy with the win yesterday. Kane proved that he was able, if you know what I mean. And also, of course, S. Featley TV. Stephen's having a watch along. Sorry I can't join you, mate. I'm on this one, having some fun. And of course, Oris Talks Football. He will be hosting a match reaction to this game. Look to join. Look to catch that and see what the boys will say. And just thank you all. Now they're showing some analysis of the Arsenal goals, and Klopp will not be happy with the nature of the defending. Let's talk about Everton against Everton playing Manchester United. How do you? About Trent's fall in form. I think we've discussed that, and I think once you come on, we'll talk about it in further depth. But yeah, I'm glad you agree. So, Hannah, I want to ask you about Everton and Manchester United. What's your prediction for that match, and what do you think of the two teams? You're mute. Raise your volume.
Okay. I think United they should win, but again you look Everton, these goals conceded in the league so far, so they definitely up there. So yeah, they should. If United don't win, don't be surprised. Don't be surprised. That's all I got to say. So yeah, I'm just going to grab myself a drink quickly. So yeah, you can give your thoughts. What do you think? How well that can go?
Yeah. I'm going for a 2-1. Easy 2-1. I mean, not easy 2-1 per se, but it's easy in the nature that I can predict the scoreline. I've been impressed with the way Everton have recovered this season. They've certainly shown that they are in it for the fight. They should be able to avoid relegation quite comfortably. And this will be a test for Manchester United's title credentials or top four credentials. So it'll be a tough game, 2-1. But that is my prediction. I think United will just have a little bit too much in the tank. Of course, Liverpool went to Goodison Park and couldn't get a win. But Jordan Pickford was, of course, in top form, and that is something that cannot be overlooked. And now Craig's in the chat. Odegaard and Xhaka need to get a hold of this game, both fading out, leaving Partey on his own. I understand your criticism of Odegaard, but I thought Xhaka has looked lively so far. He had a shot on goal, which was saved by Alisson. And obviously, the way he's been playing, he is trying to get a bit of a hold on the game. Once again, with Odegaard, he's trying to sort of plug in a few gaps, sort of looking for a few openings, but you are right in saying that he hasn't had much of a hold on the game, and certainly that little foul on Jota near the end of the first half was needless. So he's going to have to control himself, control his instincts, and I wouldn't be surprised if he were brought off and Fabi Vieira were brought on to provide maybe a little sting in the tail. Yeah. So, just taking a look at Twitter right now. I mean, there's nothing much to say about Twitter, and they're showing highlights of the Nunes goal. Great pass forward. Possible case of an offside, but Saliba ran back and inadvertently played him on. Diaz over there with the pass, straight past Magalhaes. And what was smart about that finish from Nunes was that he was able to hit it into the ground straight past Ramsdale. So with Diaz obviously going off, it is fair to say that maybe a little bit of the sting was taken away. But, Firmino's come on, and I think he might have a role to play in the second half. And now these are the highlights for the third goal. Great work from Martinelli down the left. Henderson dropping back, allowing Martinelli to come in. Pass straight through to Bukayo Saka. And once again, non-existent Liverpool defending is to blame.
Gotcha. I quickly just got to go. I'll join back later. Money, you know how to add and remove people, right?
Yeah. There's the invite guests option, right?
Now to add them to the stream, you press that circle button next to the point thing.
Yeah, this is the one, right? Invite guests.
No, yeah, that's to send the link, but to
Okay.
add them to the stream.
Okay.
You see on my screen thing, yeah, on the left hand side.
On the left.
Maybe you're right. That's
Yeah.
where it says my name. Wait, I'll show you. I'll send you a picture
Yeah.
and stuff. But I got to go. We've got Super Mega Tata.
Yeah, once again, Norris with that ridiculous chart. But Arsenal must not let Liverpool score early in the second half. Completely agree with that, mate. We cannot let Liverpool come back in, whether early or at any point in the second half. Simple as that. If we can score another goal within the first minute of the second half, that would be terrific. So, yeah, we'll see.
Money, I'm going to send you a video on Insta how to do it. Okay, because then you can just add. Hasu is going to try. I just need to quickly go.
Yeah, so a few minutes, of course, before the game resumes for the second half. And sorry about that, guys. And we've already got someone joining in, Hasper.
Hey, you're
Well,
right.
hey, welcome to the stream, brother. How are you?
right, Manny.
Yeah, can't complain, can't complain. So, not too often that we'd see a Tottenham fan joining the stream for an
An
Arsenal
Arsenal
game.
stream.
So, yeah, so
Has Hanno
good to
gone
have.
then?
Yeah, no, he's just gone out temporarily to get
All right,
something,
okay.
but
I was
yeah,
going to
he'll
make
be back very soon.
ask you about something. I've noticed something about Arsenal this season compared to before, right? You guys seem more like together as like a team, like as a collective. It seems more better team spirit. That's the word I'm trying to think.
It might seem
Yeah.
that way. It might seem that way. I mean, you know, I still cannot abide by the way Aubameyang was treated. I mean, take the captaincy away from him, but don't just jettison him because he isn't good enough. Because he proved with his stint at Barcelona that he is still more than capable. So, I mean, obviously with Jesus and Zinchenko and a few others coming in, and Xhaka being given more responsibility, it looks as though the boys do have a little bit more cohesion. They are a lot more united, and so far it's looking good. I'm not going to deny that, but you know, again, it's still very early, and Liverpool did score. All I'm saying is that we have to be cautious because I'm sick and tired of a lot of people, just gassing everything up, saying everyone up, saying that we're Arsenal on their way to winning the league. Because look, we still have to play Chelsea twice. We still have to play United at Old Trafford, Spurs again at White Hart Lane, and we haven't even considered the prospects of Manchester City. Top four could very well be a near certainty if we, maintain our form. But even then, there's many a split between the cup and the lip. Yeah, so I will
To
share.
change
Yeah,
that. Sorry, I just
yeah.
noticed.
No, it's okay. It's okay.
Yeah.
I've got that covered. I got that covered. So.
Oh, okay. Trent's gone off for Joe Gomez. That's interesting.
I predicted that. And there was a penalty appeal earlier on as well, with Gabriel Magalhaes sticking his hand up like that. So, yeah.
With those, I'm a bit iffy with that kind of thing because it's like he's so close to the ball. How can he move out the way? I don't know. If that makes sense, I don't know. He was so close to the ball. How's he gonna move out of the way?
Right.
It's starting now. So.
Yeah, it is starting. And brilliant. So hopefully you're on the same time as me. I don't know.
I'm watching on Sky Sports. Yeah.
Okay, so Jesus has the ball. He hasn't kicked off yet.
I'm a bit ahead.
Now he has.
Yeah.
Now he's
I'm 7 seconds ahead. Only 7 seconds.
No, that's fine. That's fine. But now another long pass from Ramsdale to Alisson, who has the ball. And once again, this is going to be a big test for the defense. So it's good that Klopp made that decision. He had to take Trent off. He clearly looked out of it in right
I don't
back.
understand what's happened to him. I really don't.
No, yeah, I'm glad that you come on so that we can discuss that. I think it's just fair to say, Has, that when it comes to his, defensive abilities, his man marking, it's just gone down. And I don't care how good you are as an attacker, if you can't perform your basic defensive duties, then you can't simply take up a space in the team ahead of someone who can, do a better job than you. And that's why I'm glad that Gomez is on, because now he can show Klopp what he's capable of.
Yeah, and also I think is Robertson injured or not?
Yeah, Robertson's injured, so it's Shimikas who's playing at left.
I actually like Shimikas, but maybe I'm a bit biased because he's Greek, but I actually think he's quite good. Yeah, I think there's a player there with him. Yeah. I watched him at what was the Greek club he was at before? I can't remember. Was it Olympiacos? I think. Maybe. Yeah, I watched him a bit there.
Right. So throw from Ramsdale straight to Granit Xhaka. Tomiyasu, who is unable to control it. And we've got Tomiyasu today at left back ahead of Kieran Tierney because Zinchenko dropped out. And there you see Alexander. Yeah. I think there was a fitness issue with him, and clearly he couldn't even make the matchday squad. I would have liked to have seen Tierney play today, but maybe Tierney will come on for Tomiyasu later on in the game to sort of tidy things up. But we'll see what happens. Great work from Partey. Xhaka now with a through ball straight to Martinelli, who tries to pass it through, but some good work from Van Dijk. Back to Odegaard, though, and some very desperate defending. Still not away yet. And a combination of Matip and Martinelli getting the ball away. And thankfully for Liverpool, the referee awards a free kick to Liverpool. So just
This
went
game
beyond
could go anywhere.
It could.
Honestly, this game.
So once again, now it's Joe Gomez who was beaten by Martinelli's turn of pace, and that's what makes Martinelli so crucial to Arsenal's hopes this season. That ability he has to just accelerate immediately and get in behind the defense will be very useful. With Darwin Núñez, I mean, he scored a good goal, but has just found himself offside far too often for our liking in a way.
What do you think of him?
Who?
Núñez as a whole. Do you think he's worth the price? I don't think he's worth the price tag, but do you think he can fill the void of Mane? If that makes sense.
To be honest,
him and Diaz combined can fill the void of Mane.
To be honest, mate, I think Klopp has used him in this game with the 4-2-3-1 as the out-and-out striker, sort of like Alf-Inge Haaland for Manchester City, because they both have similar constitutions, tall people, quite fast runners. What Haaland has done well that Núñez hasn't, though, is time his run well.
Yeah.
Gomez now with his first meaningful action. Long pass upfield, straight to the head of Núñez, who again was offside. And another case in point right there, you see.
Yeah, I know. I saw it. Yeah. It's
So,
just, I don't know. Because we were talking about on another stream last night about Núñez. That's why I mentioned it, because it's a big debate, really. Is he good enough? Is he not good enough?
I think when he gets his time in, he will do well. Obviously, that sending off for Liverpool didn't really help him much. Some good work from Martinelli. Straight to Odegaard, who can shoot, but straight at Alisson.
Yeah, that was quite a good chance.
Quite a good chance, but Odegaard never really tested Alisson there. But still, it's with Arsenal, who are coming back strong, who are very strong right now. Saka down the right wing. Attempted through ball to Ben White, who was overlapping him, but some good work by Tsimikas there. So once again, you see Martinelli, that high-octane play. Some decent work getting past Matip, straight through to Odegaard, who went through the defense, but that shot, final shot, wasn't the best. And you could tell how frustrated Arteta is. There are a lot of frustrations from Arsenal fans with Odegaard, saying that he doesn't get into the game anywhere near enough. And Van Dijk, lazy stuff there from Van Dijk, who was very lucky indeed. And I think it's
you have really good commentary voice. Sorry, I just want to say.
Appreciate that, thank you. But I've often heard my voice on playback, and I don't like how it sounds. So
really, as in you sound like those BBC or 909, whatever you call it.
I grew up listening. I grew up listening to them, mate. So that was something which I always fancied myself doing. Brian Moore was arguably my favourite, with Watson a close second. Some good, looking good now, and handball against Joe Gomez. So brought into the team, but again another offside. So now it's Jesus' turn to suffer from the same disease of wandering too far. Yeah. Never really got himself into the best position there, just completely off time, off kilter. And that's a bit of a problem with me as well, because sometimes I have to read the game a bit better. But Alisson has been put under a lot of pressure, and his kicking has reflected that.
I know, he seems very hesitant when he gets there.
Yeah, exactly. He is quite hesitant. And, when you have Arsenal strikers snapping at your heels, it's not really a good sign.
Because Arsenal press really high now.
Yeah.
It's too much. Martinelli, this year, he's like a different player. I know he was good before, but now I watch him and it's just...
Right. Shoved off the ball, but that through ball wasn't going anywhere. No free kick for that. But Liverpool have the ball anyway. With Matip now. Tsimikas. Shota.
Yeah, again,
Anderson.
He's again.
Yeah, some more hesitant play from Alisson, who Barely avoids conceding a throw-in. Good work there from Joe Gomez, who now gets into the game. Henderson now.
What? Did he
Jota.
come on?
Through to Firmino, and it's an equaliser. And Liverpool are right back in it. Firmino came on to replace Luis Diaz, who got himself injured. But
I was going
Firmino
to
has
say,
led
he
his
came
mark
off
on
for
the game.
Diaz, didn't he?
Yes, he did. And it just goes to show that you can never switch off against this Arsenal team. So I predicted a 2-2. It's still looking good so far. But
I'm going
once
to be
again,
like 3-3, 4-3. I'm thinking like that now.
It could be. But again, straight through to Firmino, who takes it past the defender. Great work there from Jota, who has looked really good. And, yep, Jota it was. Past Saliba, who was left for dead. And it was Gabriel Magalhaes who couldn't intercept in time. No chance for Aaron Ramsdale.
No
So now,
chance, no.
this is what happens now. Just when we thought that Liverpool were having a sting in their tail at the end of the first half, Arsenal scored, and it was Arsenal who were looking really good now, but Liverpool have come back into it. So both defenses have been caught napping there, and some potentially dangerous play not seen by the referee, who awards a throw into Arsenal, quickly taken by Xhaka, and Arsenal win a corner. All high octane stuff. It's all happening out there.
It's an interesting game, to be honest.
Yeah. Which is more that can be said for Tottenham's win over Brighton.
Yeah, Brighton yesterday.
I know that given the nature of the team and the nature of the game, you'd take that in a heartbeat, wouldn't you?
It wasn't a great watch, but we got the job done, I guess.
Yeah, as I said, Kane proved that he was able.
And
Alisson certainly proved that he was able there by catching it cleanly. And straight out to Henderson, who tries to find a through pass, can't quite get there. So Liverpool are now looking a lot more purposeful. If they could just shore up their defense and avoid making mistakes, they could end up taking a point away from Arsenal. And of course, that will have some consequences for the league table because it means that City will be back on top. You were saying?
I think Firmino's playing on the right. So I'm just trying to work out ways. Yeah, but then Salah's, I don't know. Those four just look like they're changing at this point. I can't tell.
Yeah, it is quite great work there from Gomez to win that tackle. And that is the difference that that substitution could end up making. So Gomez comes in. And you are right in saying that Firmino is on the right.
But then he just moved into the middle. I don't know.
Yeah. And now he's coming back onto the left. So it is a very fluid formation. And Liverpool have made that work very well. Salah is still stuck on the right, just like Bukayo Saka is for Arsenal. But Arsenal are breaking now through Gabriel Jesus, down the left. Cross through to, hoping to find Odegaard, but it was a bit past him, but he still has it. Odegaard against Shimikas. Who wins? Odegaard. Through ball to Ben White. And some good defending from Joel Matip, who has looked very solid. So for all of Virgil van Dijk's struggles, Joel Matip has been the one to provide some relief. Hopefully, once Konate comes back in, there will be some competition and maybe Van Dijk can be given a rest. We'll see.
He's another one. I was on another stream on yesterday. We'll talk about some Arsenal fan. I don't remember his name. You probably don't even know him. He was saying that Van Dijk's gone a bit downhill, but I haven't seen enough of Liverpool to judge. But from what I've seen today, he doesn't look the same player. Like, he's not bad, but he just hasn't looked like...
He's not as dominating as he used to be. That's the big issue. And in addition, when you're not quite as dominating as you used to be, sometimes it can be it can go against you. And Arsenal win a free kick.
Yep.
Jota basically, trying to get the better of him and failing. And you could say that Saka tripped over that ball, but it was Jota who was almost manhandling him there. But I mean, I might know that Arsenal fan if you mention his name. And here's the thing: a lot of people. Who?
I don't know if it was Stefan or something like that. I don't know.
Well, I wouldn't know.
He was only on the same stream as me, quite briefly, to be honest. So.
Yeah, and free kick taken, punched away by Alisson. That was Odegaard's free kick there, I think.
What's going on?
Yep. And Odegaard's on the floor right now, so the referee will stop play. Got to play to the whistle.
Oh, that's bad. That's really bad.
Yeah, I sort of predicted that that tempers would fly in this game. We could potentially have a sending off in this game if players aren't careful. Quite a few of them are already on yellow cards.
Mm.
So it was said, actually, has that one of the
Hey,
reasons why
Eugene, you're right. Yeah, sorry, Eugene.
yeah, and that's wonderful. If Eugene's here, maybe we can sort of bring in another Spurs fan and have the Arsenal
Two
fan being
Spurs fans
ambushed
watching
here.
an Arsenal game. Yeah.
Yeah, that would be nice.
Yeah. But I watch the big games, like even if it was like Chelsea, Liverpool, or Chelsea, Arsenal, or I watch all of those, and then I watch obviously all Spurs games. That's pretty much what I do. So,
Yeah,
but yeah, do you see Jesus? It looks really bad.
we'll see what happens here. We'll see what
Yeah.
happens here because I knew that Odegaard was on the floor and play should have stopped then, and now with Jesus on the floor, it could be a little bit more serious. So we'll see what happens. So a lot of people were saying, quite a few people were saying that one of the reasons why Van Dijk has sort of dropped off in a way in terms of form is that he doesn't really have the same defenders with him. He doesn't have Robertson with him and a few others. So I don't know if I can accept that as an excuse, really, because
I
if
don't
you're
really. I don't.
because I mean Van Dijk is of course an experienced international who plays for the Netherlands, and he was supposed to be in the Euro squad, but sadly was out due to injury. Eugene, good to see you, sir. Hope you're well. If you want to join in, like I said, you can. I can have two Spurs fans ambushing me. Yeah, that would be fun. Harry Great and the Wall debut.
Yeah, it's another show. Yeah, it's fine. Yeah.
I'll leave you to that. So I think it's fair to say that without his supporting cast, he has looked a little bit off the boil. But
Do you
you
think?
can't really depend on certain people to help you raise your game. You've got to be able to know
I
how to
agree with
raise your
that
game. Yeah.
totally. But do you think his injury has a part to play because he had that injury, didn't he?
It could be. It could be. It could be. It just goes to show that rushing players back when they're not completely fit is never a good idea. Now, Trent certainly doesn't have an injury. It's as if he was just completely left out of position for both of those goals, and that's one of the reasons why I don't see Trent making England's World Cup squad as a right back. Reece James is far ahead of him in the pecking order.
Yeah.
And of course, you've got Kieran Trippier and Kyle Walker all the way at the top of the tree. Former Arsenal defenders. That makes you happy.
Are they?
I mean, no, not former Arsenal, former Tottenham defenders.
Oh, because Trippier and Walker.
Yeah.
I mean, I love Walker. Trippier, I was a bit iffy about, but I think England. I don't really trust Southgate personally, so England need to find a way to get the best out of who they have, and I don't think Southgate sets them up in a way when that can happen. Personally.
So an hour gone, and it's 2-2 at the Emirates, all to play for. You might have a point there, but having said that, I remember watching England in the 2018 World Cup where he played the 5-3-2 with Trippier and Ashley Young as wing backs, and Trippier was normally the one who would bomb forward down the right, and he'd be the free kick taker, the set piece specialist, if you will. So that was where I thought a tournament where I thought Trippier shone really well. Of course, that would have meant having to play Kyle Walker as the right centre back, and yeah, you could say that formation was a little bit defensive, but certainly down the wings
we played
they
that
provided
yesterday.
a lot of.
We played that yesterday at Tottenham, so it's not.
Yeah, I mean, and I think it was good that Doherty came in because obviously with Emerson Royale, not being in the best of form and also suspended, I think Doherty coming in and proving his worth means that he should be in the team for a bit longer.
Oh, he's knackered from work. Okay, that's fair enough.
Yeah, but Eddie, it's a bit late for you, I understand. So
I don't know what time it is.
Well, I'm based in India at the moment, and he's in
Malaysia,
right, okay. So he's 2.5 hours ahead of me. It might be 1 a.m. So
is it 11 o'clock where you are?
No, it's 10:25.
Oh, okay. So you. Oh, okay.
So it should be 6 for you in the UK, yeah?
Yeah.
And Shaka doing some good work getting into the penalty area, but blasting it high and not handsome at all over the bar.
Yeah.
So it's still looking like a very niggly game, and I think now with half an hour to go, it's a question of which defense can hold tighter.
Yeah. That's a good way of putting it. Xhaka's another one who's really impressed me this year, actually, and I completely wrote him off.
Yeah, look, he's been given a more forward, more attacking role by Arteta, which suits him well, because if he has to try and come back a little bit, he doesn't really have the pace to deal with that. So I think that might be similar to the role he plays for Switzerland. But
All right. I never saw him as holding midfielder when I saw him play before.
he never was able to perform that role, and
Yeah.
I think you will know that a lot of Arsenal fans wanted us to sign, wanted AW to sign N'Golo Kante instead from Leicester City.
it is Kante.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And ironically now, there's talk about Kante possibly coming to Arsenal. Good work by Gabriel Jesus there in the penalty area to Ben White. Looks like Saka. Cross from Ben White, but good defending from Liverpool. So they've tightened up a little bit now. And that just goes to show that, I think, shows that Klopp has told them to tighten up a lot. Yeah?
So Jota stayed the same position. Salah's still on the right. Looks like Nunes has shifted to the left, from what I can see.
Could very well be that Nunes has come to the left with Firmino up front.
Yeah.
Because I think that might be better, because obviously Nunes has had an issue with not being able to time his runs well. Well taken goal though, don't get me wrong.
Yeah,
but Firmino was probably in the better position to handle that, maybe. Martinelli, good work by Gomez.
Oh my god.
Yeah, I know you're 7 seconds ahead of me, so don't.
Oh no, don't worry, it wasn't anything in the
Yeah.
end.
Well, I saw that. I mean, there was and the referee has in fact signaled a handball. So Saka trying to do the Diego Maradona or Thierry Henry hand of God and not succeeding. Yeah, exactly the Thierry Henry hand of God, and a brilliant clearance off the line from Shimikash, but the referee saw that and gave a free kick. It's all happening.
What are your thoughts on these? Because I don't know if Arsenal do this as well. What are your thoughts on these goalkeepers who always play it short? Because I don't like it personally. I think there's a time to do it. If you push your team up and there's more space, I can understand them playing it to the defense.
Yeah.
But when it's like this, like they played it short, you're only 7 seconds behind, but you must have seen when he played it short.
Yeah, I saw that. I get what you're saying.
I find that quite risky, personally.
Oh, me too, mate. Me too.
Yeah.
And the reason why is because when you have a situation where a lot of attackers are snapping at the goalkeeper's heels or the defender's heels, that is not something you want to see, more pressure on your defense. But I think so far Liverpool's defense has held firm. I think Gomez coming on has meant that the defense has to be a little bit tighter. But Firmino coming on has helped lend an extra dimension into the attack with Diaz gone.
Yeah.
Having said that, Arsenal are on the attack now through Ben White, Thomas Partey, back with Partey, of course. Magalhaes, Tomiyasu, Gabriel Jesus, to Partey now, passing it back to Magalhaes, again with Tomiyasu, and again back, this time to Saliba, who probably hasn't been quite at his best today, but still really good.
He made that brilliant challenge in the first half, I think, on Diaz.
Yeah. He did. Yeah. That was good. That was a wonderful example of his positional awareness and reading of the game. But, again, for the goal, I think he was caught out with that pass, and Magalhaes couldn't really intercept that. And Odegaard loses the ball. And now Liverpool can break through Diogo Jota. Does he pass it across? Yes, he does. But nobody is there to retrieve that, and it goes for a throw.
It wasn't a great pass.
No, it wasn't.
He killed him.
Yeah, maybe if Gomez had been running up to get that, it would have worked. But I think Gomez seems to be a little bit more defensive, oriented. So again, that's probably a sign that Klopp ended up taking the situation more seriously and doing the right thing. So this could very well mean that Trent gets benched a bit and Gomez could end up starting a few games. Give Trent some time to get back his confidence, and we'll see how it works. Magalhaes now. Saliba. Long pass up the field, hoping to find Bukayo Saka, and just out of play. And Liverpool making another change. It looks as though Fabinho will be coming on to shore up the midfield. So I think it's fair to say that he'll want to strengthen midfield, the defense, and now the midfield to prevent new goals being conceded. And he now knows that his attack has the ability to get in behind the Arsenal defense on the counter. So that seems to be the strategy that Klopp would like to employ.
See, I think Liverpool are strongest when they play on the counter, but with signing Nunes, Nunes is a better player in a possession-based side, which is
Yeah.
why I think in the first half he benefited more.
Hmm.
Which is, I don't know. This is why with Nunes, I have question marks over the transfer. Not because he's a bad player. I just don't know if he suits Liverpool's style.
Yeah. Now,
Yeah.
here's the thing. I mean, Liverpool changed their formation today. I mean, instead
Yeah.
of the 4-3-3, they went for a 4-2-3-1.
Yeah.
And that meant that Nunes was up on his own with Salah, Diaz, and Jota being the attacking
Behind him.
midfielders behind him.
Yeah.
So if Nunes were to come off, for instance, I would see Liverpool going into a 4-3-3. It would be Salah, Firmino, Jota, and Firmino maybe. And Fabinho would then come in and slot into the midfield alongside Thiago and Henderson. We'll see what happens. It's Gabriel Martinelli now. Good work from Joe Gomez, and the referee has given it a goal kick.
Yeah.
Well, let's take a look. Claims for an offside there, maybe? No. Probably came off Martinelli as the last man. And it looks as though Joel Matip will be coming off, which is a bit of a surprise because I thought he looked a lot more solid defensively. But he is coming off for Konate.
Change. Yeah.
And that means that Fabinho will be coming on for Mohamed Salah, who has looked good in patches, but not quite as incisive as he would like to be. And so
4-3-3.
It will be a 4-3-3.
Yeah.
So it will be Firmino, Nunes, and Jota who will be leading the line. And now we're getting some team news for the Everton-Manchester United game later on today. Pickford will be in goal. Four-man back four with Coleman, Cody, Tarkowski, and Mikolenko. Onana, Gueye, and Iwobi are the midfielders. So 4-3-3 with Gordon, Mopai, and Gray up front. And that's going to be played, of course, an hour from now. Also on Sky Sports and on Supersport if you're in South Africa, where Hanno is. Yeah. Manchester United's team news for later on today. De Gea in goal, four-man back forward, Dalot and Shaw as the wing-backs, Casemiro and Eriksen are the defensive midfielders, a three-man attacking midfield with Anthony, Fernandes and Rashford with Martial up front. So, once again, a 4-3-3 versus a 4-2-3-1. I think in some ways we can give Ten Hag a little bit of credit for sticking to his guns, but the way the 4-2-3-1 was demolished by City's 4-3-3,
yeah,
I would have been worried about that. I would be worried that they'd been found out, but maybe with a personnel change, it would do the team a bit good.
Sorry, did you say Eriksen's playing or not playing?
Actually, he's not playing. It's Fred and Casemiro who.
It might work better. It might work better.
I think it's Casemiro and Eriksen.
No, it is. I believe it is Casemiro and. Oh wait, 14, 18. Yeah, it is Eriksen and Casemiro. I'll confirm that. I'll confirm that.
I'll start up the timer now. Just.
Casemiro gets a start though. It's quite interesting.
It's overdue, to be honest.
Yeah.
I mean, you do not buy a player of his CV with his CV and continually bench him in favour of guys like Scott McTominay and expect results to be good. I mean, you have to bring him in for the bigger games, and Everton may not necessarily be a big game per se, but it will be important for United season.
But
and Arsenal are breaking
that. A bit that Everton now can be influenced by the Manchester United fan base, because I think every United fan was going crazy. Why isn't Casemiro starting off the game? Do you think he made that change, or was it maybe like a false one? What do you guys think?
Probably forced in some ways. I mean, I wouldn't say that. Odegaard now with the ball. Through to Martinelli. Can he score? Moving past the defenders, but the defenders are on him. To Granit Xhaka now. Does he shoot? Does he cross?
Nope.
Great defending there from Konate, who comes back in and avoids any calamity. So, Van Dijk and Konate combining well. I think
Joe Gomez made a difference as he come on.
Certainly a lot more defensively aware and defensively solid. So it could very well be, as I've said, that Trent gets benched for a few games and Joe gets a bit of a run out in that right back position, sort of tightening things up there. But we will see. Because you will remember, Has, when Joe Gomez played as a centre-back against Napoli, he was ripped to shreds, the poor boy, because Trent had to be accommodated. And that's the sign of a
And
manager. Sometimes you've got
Arsenal,
to
I
be
think,
ruthless
will
enough to
go
make
score now.
tough decisions.
Nope.
Oh,
Yeah, it is Ericsson and Casemiro who will be starting for Manchester United. Those are the two holding midfielders. Xhaka now straight to there, and no one was there at the end, but Saka has it. Can he score? Saved by Alisson. Again from Jesus.
Oh my days.
And some desperate defending there. Martinelli now.
oh, I'm not going to say
Pinball
anything.
right now in the Liverpool penalty area. Granit Xhaka. And finally kicked away. So there you see.
Penalty to
penalty,
They
yeah.
ordered the penalty.
I want to see it again. I haven't showed it. I don't know what.
I want to see that again too, because I now see, and Jesus is on the floor. He doesn't
come
look
on,
happy.
come on. That's so soft.
Now, we're going to see what happens. I mean, certainly the.
I don't think he actually touched him.
How's that
You didn't touch him. I'm sorry, you didn't touch him. He didn't touch him.
Maybe the VAR.
Touch him. He didn't touch him.
I think he clipped him on the back of his heel. I think he clipped him on the back of his heel.
It's all kicking off now anyway.
He touched him.
I don't think he touched him. They both missed the ball, pretty much.
Jesus missed it. Jesus missed it.
And once again, Granit Xhaka is being, hot-headed.
Hot-headed. Yeah.
VAR needed on that.
VAR. Yeah. It's not because it's Arsenal. I just genuinely don't think it was a penalty.
But he didn't touch it.
I don't think he touched him.
We're going to see right now. Maybe, and I don't know if the referee has signaled for the VAR check, but we will see what happens. So.
I hope it doesn't take forever.
Some very desperate defending going on over there.
You could just walk there and check. Wait, what happened?
No, normally if there's a time to check, then he would run towards the centre. And he's calling Granit Xhaka and Henderson right now.
Because Henderson and Gabriel, something happened there. Oh, but he's putting his shirt. Xhaka's putting Henderson's shirt there.
Look at Nunes.
Yeah. And this is one of the reasons why none of us Arsenal fans want to see Granit Xhaka.
There shouldn't be a penalty. No way.
So the big question is who will take that penalty.
We only saw it like one or two replays.
Yeah.
I think I only saw 1 or 2 replays.
It looks as though Bukayo Saka will be taking that penalty, and.
You're just a shy bastard. Just a shy bastard.
So we're going to see right now how Liverpool respond if Saka scores.
Are they still checking it, or they're not checking it?
No, they're not checking it. It's been given. 15 minutes to go. This could very well be what decides the game. I remember saying that whichever defense holds firm will end up winning the game. Saka against Alisson.
Oh, that was close.
Brilliant penalty to Alisson's right. Went the right way, but couldn't get it in. And
okay, I didn't expect that.
Come on.
I don't think it was a penalty personally, but
first of all, this should be a penalty. The Liverpool one in the first half should be a penalty to Liverpool. Disgraceful. Surely not.
So Thiago actually caught Gabriel Jesus, so that it was the right call. The penalty was awarded. And that was a top penalty, straight to Alisson's right, all the way to the side. There was no way that Alisson could save that.
At this point of the day, I don't open my WhatsApp groups because it's half of them are Arsenal fans. So because it just goes ping, 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 ping,
what?
ping.
Even neutrals are saying shite decision. Absolute shite.
Saka's on a hat trick now. If he gets one more, he's got a hat trick.
If he does, but we'll see what happens because
Liverpool could score again.
Nippon is asking, Kroenke, how much did you pay VAR?
Wait, I can't see I can't see it in the chat. But anyway, Liverpool are
No,
now
I'm
kicking
so
off,
sorry.
and Jesus with a foul concedes a free kick. So Liverpool are coming
Okay,
back fast
goal.
and furious.
Says Hassan, yeah.
And there goes
goal.
my prediction in the mud.
I'll
Yeah, the
We
change
will
it
see
2-2.
what
now.
happens now.
Well, whilst you're away,
I don't
Hanno, I
want-
said this game could be like 4-3, 3-3, whatever, something
Um,
crazy like that.
Yeah, but I mean, this game
I
will be
don't
very
want
hot-tempered. So far, there
anything.
hasn't been a sending off yet, but there have been a few bookings. And now, down the right,
Goal.
it is with Shimikas.
Goal!
Cross in.
Let's go,
That
no.
didn't need that needed someone there, but Tomiyasu was there to head it away. So, what substitutions does Arteta make? He hasn't made any, and
He
does
hasn't made
he?
any. Oh, yeah, you're right.
And he hasn't really brought on anyone. He probably would want to bring on Kieran Tierney for Tomiyasu to tidy up the game defensively, but so far, the first 11 have done their job. Ramsdale had an injury scare in the first half, but then he continued. And that will be headed away, but Henderson has it and can pass it back to Joe Gomez, straight to Thiago, all the way back to Alisson Becker, who is halfway into his own penalty, own half rather. And some pretty sloppy work there from
Michael
Roberto
Oliver.
Firmino, but the referee awards a free kick taken quickly. And actually, it wasn't a free kick. He played advantage.
Michael
but-
Oliver is a joke of a referee. Is equal to Anthony Taylor.
Oh.
Well, that is a big statement you've just made there, son.
Yeah, he's a joker
Yeah,
referee.
but now it is with Darwin Núñez. Núñez against Magalhaes.
Oh,
And it
please,
needed an
Liverpool,
Arsenal,
come on.
it needed a Liverpool player on the end of that for it to be a goal, but Jesus was there, thankfully, and the danger has been cleared. But Liverpool are now laying siege. They are angry about that penalty, and they want an equaliser.
Oh, come on,
But Manny, what are your thoughts on Liverpool overall this season? Because they're not playing the same.
I still think that they can definitely score goals. Just defensively, they look awful. One shot. Konate, Gomez, who has looked
I'm
good,
going to look
to
at
Fabinho,
that.
to
The
Henderson.
one replay they showed us. I'm going to check what.
Oh,
Skip all this.
Now with Firmino, Henderson, Firmino. Shimikash, Van Dijk,
Okay.
Fabinho. Now it's with Henderson. Again with Thiago. Nice cross inside, but too far for Firmino.
interesting change, Klopp.
What's interesting?
He's been on Harvey Elliott for Jota.
Yep, I see that. So obviously with 10 minutes to go, this might be another Hail Mary. He still has a few substitutions he can make, but Jota has been outstanding, arguably Liverpool's best player.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
maybe it's time for some useful impetus to come in. Harvey Elliott, who until recently was the youngest ever Premier League player, only for that record to be broken by Ethan Nwaneri. Elliott has since become
for Arsenal, wasn't it? I think, wasn't it? Yeah.
yeah. So
Yeah.
So I can confirm.
That looked like a foul to me.
yeah,
Thiago touched the back of Jesus' leg, but both went for the ball. So it shouldn't. You can't give it actually because both went for the ball.
according to the letter of the law, that is a penalty. No complaints.
No, choke. And if I go forward, no, wait.
I like a handball. I left it anyway. He was offside.
No, yeah. Núñez again, another culprit.
Núñez again.
And I think,
Yeah.
I think Liverpool have probably got this idea, that maybe, Núñez can score goals, but it is. I mean, even if he does get offside too
Did it
often,
touch the
it's
back
worth the
leg
risk.
or did it touch
And now
his feet?
Arsenal are making a change. The captain, Martin Odegaard, is going off. Not exactly really gotten into the game and has lost the ball on more than a few occasions. giving the armband to Granit Xhaka, and he'll be walking off to be replaced by Kieran Tierney. Interesting. So, does Tierney perhaps move into the midfield?
Shutting up shop, I think.
Could very well be. I did say that Tierney coming on would be, a lot more defensively sound. So with 8 minutes to go, that is what he is now being asked to do.
Eight minutes.
Plus stoppages, if any.
There was 5-minute stoppage in the first half.
There was then, and there could be 5 more this time around as well. So we're going to see how this game plays out. I would say on the whole that Arsenal were decent value for their win, but they have been very, very lucky with some referee calls.
Like maybe it just hits his foot. I don't know.
They only showed us one replay here. So
I got a back angle, and then they showed me a side angle. But side angle, you can't tell anything.
A long kick from Aaron Ramsdale, straight to Konate, who heads it away. And it is with Bobby Firmino.
Oh, no.
Shimikash now.
Okay.
To Harvey Elliott. Shimikash. And not really high enough, headed away by Thomas Partey. And brilliantly intercepted by Gabriel Jesus, who can now start an attack on the right. In against Van Dijk. Crossfield all the way to Tierney, who's running with it now. And has now gone to a stop.
I think
Tierney to Partey.
First contact.
In the penalty area, Gabriel Jesus.
I'm just going to take a photo.
Certainly Liverpool have defended a lot better this half than in the first half, but to be caught out for that penalty, I think it would really leave them with questions to be answered. I seriously don't think... I think Klopp will stay till the end of the season, but Liverpool will have to accept that their title challenge may very well be over and aim for Champions League instead. Top 4. Tomiyasu. Magalhaes. Saliba. All the way up to Saka. Score of the penalty and the go-ahead goal at the end of the first half. Tomiyasu. Intercepted brilliantly by Joe Gomez. And Gomez against Tierney. Tierney pretty much wins that battle. Tomiyasu. So it looks as though...
what was that?
Claimed by Alisson. So it looks as though Tierney could be, ironically, playing a little bit more up front because Tomiyasu is not a natural left back.
The commentary here said left wing back he's playing, but...
Oh, so it could very well be that they've moved into a 5-3-2. Tierney is the left wing back. Tierney playing left wing back. Tomiyasu being the left centre back.
I didn't even look.
So, Ben White over there. Some good overlapping. And Gomez there with a risky header, but headed away nonetheless. Straight to Martinelli, though. And Arsenal still running with it. Magalhaes. Partey. Back to Magalhaes. All the way to Granit Xhaka. But
on first point
away.
Of contact, you can see it's definitely Thiago's foot is touching the ball. Then as Jesus' leg is coming through, Thiago's leg slips underneath Jesus' leg and ball hits him on the side part of his leg.
Yeah. Okay, thanks for the clarification. But, VAR didn't pick that up. And a foul there by Granit Xhaka, the stand-in captain.
Yeah, I didn't see that.
Yeah. Fabinho. Konate. Gomez. Gomez again. Back to Alisson.
Aston, what minute are you?
Oh, 87 almost.
86-46 for me. So he's 7 seconds ahead of me.
Yeah, it's only 7 seconds.
You remember that song by Nene Cherry, 7 Seconds?
No, no.
Yusu and Dur collaborated with her. Might want to hear
All
that.
right.
And so, desperation time now for Liverpool. What can they do?
Yeah.
Can they pull the chestnuts out of the fire, or will Arsenal hold on?
Liverpool.
So, in the first half, interestingly enough, Liverpool had so much more of the possession, 62 to Arsenal's 38, whereas it's been even Stevens this half. And you could say that Liverpool have been playing a lot better and a lot smarter in the second half and being able to do well on the counter. I mean,
They
caught
find
out by that,
themselves-
caught out by that penalty. That hasn't really been fair to them. But it's Elliott now after some good work by Gomez.
Penalty.
Firmino, Elliott to Gomez. Fabinho now.
Oh.
Cross by
Oh.
Gomez. Claims there for a penalty.
That's a penalty.
Claims there for a
They're not
penalty,
going to check
but
it. They're
no
not going to
dice
check
there.
it.
Maybe VAR will come to the rescue. Hooked away by
Wait.
Tomiyasu.
No, okay.
Let's check it.
Let's
Nah,
check it.
maybe it wasn't actually.
Yeah, it wasn't. No sign of a hand there.
Elliott.
No.
Wait, maybe foul on Harvey Elliott?
No, I didn't.
No
he
sign of
didn't
a foul.
touch him.
No,
he
no,
didn't
no, no.
touch him.
No.
In real time, it looked like he did, but
Yeah. That wasn't a foul. I
It
mean, the
wasn't a
ball
foul.
was away, and Tierney was also going for that. The same reasoning that you have, Hanno, for why that shouldn't have been a penalty. But now it is with Van Dijk. Konate. Henderson. Gomez. Van Dijk. All the way to... it's with Firmino now. That was
But I have to
Shimikas
praise
down the wing.
Liverpool. They gave you a better go than we did.
Yeah, I agree that I would say that in some cases we were lucky. We're lucky to be ahead right now with about a minute to go plus stoppages. But it's in the penalty area and headed straight back into Ramsdale's arms by Saliba. So Arsenal are doing what they have to do.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But what do you think? What are the chances potentially of?
Oh my God!
If you
what
look
the?
percentage-wise,
What the?
which team is going to win? Percentage-wise, like 60-40, 50-50.
Yeah, I saw what happened over there, and Jesus once again making a nuisance of himself, and clearly Van Dijk is not
What
happy
was
with
he
that.
doing there?
Oh, he broke his little.
Yeah.
Oh, he clashed into.
5 minutes, like you said.
It should be a penalty. Oh.
It's probably going to end up in like 7.
And once again,
Well,
Van
while
Dijk
this
over
is
there
going
not doing
on to
himself
Big
any
Tens,
favors.
how many at a time? I'm going with 9.
9 minutes.
Yeah. 9. Money? Wait,
Maybe
5
6 or
minutes. 5.
it's 5 minutes, 5 minutes, but
Yeah.
it could increase to 6 or 7 depending on how long this takes. And there'll be another substitution. Gabriel Jesus being taken off, Eddie Nketiah coming on. So Nketiah is a big source of controversy for us
Just a
Arsenal
seed
fans.
set Conte. Just a seed set Conte. Just a seed set Conte.
Just a what?
A what, Conte?
Seed tech Conte. Instead of
Conte?
a B-Tech, a C-Tech. Was he
B-Tech.
sitting
Oh,
back?
B-Tech. Oh,
C-Tech.
C-Tech. Oh, I haven't heard of that
Yeah.
one before.
Sitting back merchant.
Oh, right.
But are you going to give that also a penalty now? What are you arguing, Gabriel? Stop. Give him a red card. Give him a red card.
Give him a red card. Oh, no. Oh, is he actually checking it now? Is he checking it or is he not checking it?
We'll see. We're just going to see
Surely
what
he's not
happens
checking.
right now. I don't know.
No,
if
he's
they-
on
Oh
it.
no, he's going to check it. He's going to check it. Oh my days.
It could
Watch
very
this
well
one.
be. I don't know who he's calling, but
If okay, no, it's going to the coaches. If he's
yeah.
going to check this out, look at that. Look, look at that. That tells you all. That tells you all.
I don't blame Klopp for being annoyed. I don't think it was a penalty either.
Is he going to check
I
it
certainly
or-
believe that there was a good case in the first half for a penalty against Gabriel
When
Magalhaes.
his hand was up.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but Nketiah is now on. He'll probably play the last few minutes. I don't expect him to score, but we will see what
What?
happens.
What's going to happen now? Penalty. Oh, corner. Cool.
Yeah.
Okay.
So,
Luckily.
Arsenal corner.
Yes.
Gabriel Martinelli to take this. In-swinging right footer. Actually, it's a short
Yes,
corner to Nketiah,
It's just a
who
shot
gets
for us.
Tomiyasu.
Just
But
a
it's
shot
intercepted,
for
and
us.
now Liverpool can break. Elliott keeps it in play, but and ends up winning a throw.
Come on, Liverpool.
And clearly
Liverpool.
Arteta's not happy with something.
Liverpool. Come on, Liverpool.
Oh, that's bad. That's a booking.
Yeah.
Yep, a definite
This-
booking for Ben White.
Shoes, Ben White,
That's
shoes.
poor
Nobody
tackle.
said you are allowed to talk. Shoes.
Oh wow, he's taking off Saka.
Yeah, he's sitting back. It's a
Another
big
substitution? Maybe to eat up more seconds, maybe.
Yeah. Oh, for the
Just
Vieira.
a
Is it
big
Vieira?
content.
Yeah.
Sitting back, mate. Fabio.
Yeah, for a 1 minute appearance.
Wow. Ooh, he's the next
I think it'd be like
Vieira.
4 minutes, because on the timer on my screen, it went like 2 minutes before they even took the corner. So now it's
Yeah.
on 4, so it'll probably be under 4 minutes.
It could very well be, but now
Yeah.
Vieira's come on to maybe as well just calm proceedings and
Come on.
sweet left foot on him, but we will see what happens now. So,
The
Arsenal
ball is out.
with
Fred.
Martinelli.
The ball is out.
Something tells me that Martinelli needs to be brought off very soon because he's also running himself into the ground.
Thank you. Kick the-
He's probably been Arsenal's best player this year. I'd
Who?
say. Martinelli.
Well, true, but I mean, you don't want to keep playing him too often. You don't want to run the risk of him getting injured.
Nah.
They gave man of the match on Sky Sports to Martinelli. That's so fun, ironic.
Yeah, I mean, he deserves that, though. Scored the opening goal and obviously
He
looked
just
very, very
shot.
lively in between.
No. They're just a shite Brentford. They're just a B-Tech Brentford. Just a B-Tech Brentford. You're just a B-Tech
Calm down,
Brentford.
son. Calm down. Enough's enough. It's not funny.
It's funny too. Cheat.
You would say that, wouldn't you?
How can you cheat so hard?
I don't know how Liverpool can fall so
Yeah,
much.
so obviously Arsenal are just content to ride out the storm, let Liverpool maybe come forward and then just defend it. But
Just kick the ball over
I
the
can't see Liverpool
fullback.
doing anything.
yeah,
Just
Fabinho now intercepted by Partey, and
Arteta complaining
that
about.
you could see is that. I think Saliba has his arms raised. He knows that the match could very well be over soon.
sit on your bum, Arteta. Give him a yellow card. Surely I should get a yellow card.
I think he's complaining about the time. That's the only thing I can think of.
But give him a red card. Let him be in the stand.
Give him a red.
Send him to his and
Yeah, but so it's 1
they
minute
can't
after
blow
the
the whistle
stoppage.
because it was like 4 minutes where there wasn't any action. So
Yeah.
it can't.
But a very
No.
weak clearance there
It's
by
game
Shimikar,
over.
straight to Martinelli. It could be,
Somebody
maybe they
just
could score and it
take
could
him
be
out.
game over.
Thank you.
And a foul by Konate. Free kick to Arsenal. And this
I
could
don't
very well
even
be that.
care that it's a foul. Just take him out.
What's
Play
Arteta
him.
complaining about? I don't understand.
Give him a yellow card. Gee.
Are they going to
I think it is fair to say that although Arsenal might be on the balance of play deserved winners, they have had their share of luck. And with this
Oh,
free
come-
kick, you could this should very well be the last chance
They're
of the game.
just going to run it and kick it in.
Mm.
Just tackle them and take them out. Okay, throw in. Go on, Liverpool. Last few
Lump
minutes.
it.
Michael Oliver, you should let that timer run until 100. Until 100.
Go on.
Throw straight back to Allison, who has to hoof it away, and he does so very well. But will there be time for another
Come on.
Liverpool attack?
Yes, go on.
Harvey Elliott,
Go on.
headed away by Saliba, straight to Firmino, though. It's all happening. Cleared away by Magalhaes.
And
Referee
that's
has a whistle in his mouth, and
yes, go
it's
on.
all over.
Go on. Well, no, it's not over. It's not over.
Oh,
Yes,
it's not
it's
over,
over.
is it?
It's
So,
not over.
going in,
Oh.
straight with Firmino now. Some good work by Fabio Vieira there, trying to hold him off.
Game
Headed
over
away by
now.
Partey, but straight into Henderson's path. Xhaka blocks that.
Handball.
Hoofed away.
good.
Does the referee have the whistle in
Great.
his mouth? Yes, he does. It is over, and you can see how much it
Falsets
means to
get
Mikel
out
Arteta.
of my face. Cheating scums.
Yeah, you think he was a Spurs fan instead of me?
Wow.
I don't know. It's a sort of a Chelsea Tottenham thing. They both hate. You both hate Arsenal with a passion.
But see, I hate Arsenal more than I hate Chelsea personally.
I have to also more than I Tottenham because Tottenham.
See, I think
I
more
don't know
I
me-
thought more Chelsea fans hate Tottenham than they hate Arsenal. But
It's because I don't know many Tottenham fans. It's like 3 or 4 or 5.
just me and Eugen, basically.
Right. So
You, Eugen,
another exciting
Dan,
game, full of thrills
Bobby,
and spills, smiles all
Mendes, and
around
other
for
ones,
Arsenal.
like
And for Jurgen Klopp and
5.
Liverpool, there is a lot of thinking to be done.
No.
And I think it
Yeah,
could be.
slap
It'll be.
Saka.
It
Give
is
him
fair
a
to say.
good blow.
It is fair to say that this will probably be Jurgen Klopp's
Disgraceful.
last full season with the club. But
Where did Liverpool go from here?
yeah, that is a good question. I think, as I said, they're going to have to revise their targets. It is fair to say that their title challenge is now effectively over.
Done.
But as for Arsenal, they are back on top of the Premiership, and it must be said with a great deal of luck. We have to be honest and accept that.
And now Ole and are going to be so.
It goes to show you that that football has such small margins.
Yep.
Klopp. He
You know.
smashed that referee. Smash him in his face. Give him. That's what I would have done. I would have even stormed the pitch and tackled the referee. If I was a Liverpool fan. Right. Which is I have done. And yeah. That's full time, 3-2. Money, as you are an Arsenal fan. Oh,
What can I
the
say?
top
What
of
can
the
I say?
league.
Yeah, what can I say? What can
Yeah.
I say? I'm happy with the result. But again, this is another example of how fine margins, as you said, can decide almost everything. So, yeah, I mean,
But thanks
we
for
can be
having me
happy.
on anyway. Yeah.
No, you're welcome. You're welcome.
Yeah.
But still,
Yeah.
again,
Yeah, okay.
just 9 games have been played. A few other
Yeah.
teams have games in hand. So we need to get some perspective.
But you just need to take it
Just
each
hold-
game at a time, really. I think.
Exactly.
Hold on.
That's what we need to do.
Shout out your channel. Where can the people find you?
Oh yeah, has Spur TV. It's on the
There-
side. Has
Yeah.
Spur TV. So I'll be streaming at I think 8 o'clock UK time. I'm not sure what time that is in your countries. So in about an hour and a half.
Yeah.
Yeah, thanks for having me on, Hanno. And
Yeah.
I know,
Yeah.
I know it's a Chelsea channel, but come on, you Spurs. Okay.
It's
Right,
not a
bye.
Chelsea channel, but
Okay.
yeah.
Take care.
Bye. Take care. Take care and up the
Cheers, mate.
Chelsea, mate. Always.
No.
Later. So it's Chelsea fan. As a Chelsea fan, it's a beautiful thing seeing Klopp out trending, but the brown envelopes won't put that narrative out. Also, bottle jobs, so let them brand about dreaming until it falls apart. As you say, it's going to fall apart, but when? When? I want to know when. That one downfall. It was against United. I never came. When? Please tell me when.
You
When?
enjoy the downfall of other teams, don't you? I
Yeah.
mean, listen, I'm not one to, burst your bubble. I've seen Arsenal teams have great starts like this and fall apart. And no matter how many times people will say this time it's different, it may not always be. So we have to be careful as always.
Mm. And yeah, they lost to United, but after that they went on to win. That's the only one. That's not a penalty. They show you it again, and it's not a penalty. Disgraceful. Uh, uh, uh,
Well, listen, we've
yeah.
only bottled one away game. Our other away records games, Crystal Palace, we've won. Brentford, we've won. And what's going on over
Yes.
there?
My bed is going crazy. Absolutely going mental.
Oh, man.
Mental. But yeah, my thoughts. Also, of course, they did well. Liverpool, I thought they would do a bit better. Yeah, at the end, Liverpool were up by the referee. The tenth in the Premier League. Liverpool almost beating Arsenal, who are first in the Premier League. Just shows that Arsenal aren't that great. They're not that great, but they did well. But yeah, Arsenal go 4 points. Arsenal now 4 points clear of Manchester City, and it's looking very good for Arsenal. And um, yeah, I think we will wrap it up here. If I feel like doing, I'll maybe do a United one, maybe if I feel like it. That's it. Yep, everyone.
Yes.
See you all later.
Yeah, it's up to you. I think you might be feeling really, really tired now.
Yeah, Manny, where can people find you?
Yeah, as usual, you can find me on Instagram at MannyThungatherai1981. You can also catch me on Twitter at Thungatherai1981. And you can catch me on a few YouTube channels. Of course, Del Boy Gunner TV, S Featley TV, Oris Talks Football, King's Football Show, the Football for Thought podcast, Tony Claude Gunner TV, Danny AFC TV, a lot of Arsenal-based channels, but a few more football channels in general where I'm called to called on to give a neutral point of view, and just happy to keep coming on these channels and giving my thoughts about everything. So thanks a lot to Hanno. Big up to him. Terrific content, terrific creator, terrific channel. Of course, happy to always be a part of him. Always happy to be invited and to do some work with him. Last word as well goes to the families of the Indonesian, to the victims of the Indonesian riots. Nobody should go to a football match hoping to have a good time only to be brought back home in a body bag. Um, to the victims, I hope you'll be at peace with the Lord, or with the Almighty, rather. And to the families of the victims, I hope that you will all find the peace and the strength to move forward. Also, some tributes to the victims of the recent attack in Donegal in Ireland, where people have died. I wish for peace for the departed there, and also for comfort and solace to the victims of that terrible attack. So, once again, peace to everyone. Have a good day. Have a good night. And I'm out. Looks as though Hanno's nowhere to be seen, but yep, as I said, I'm out. Sort of coming in and out, are you? Yeah, well, I've got to split now because I've got some stuff to do, but thanks a lot to Hanno once again, and I'll catch you all soon.